G on the marquee Jaybird, and the cat who runs the chat with the stats, Statman Surge. We are Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. We're not a Quad City Sports Talk radio show. We're not the Quad City Sports Talk radio show. We are your Quad City Sports Talk radio show. Welcome to the conversation, Quad Cities. But first, the Dawn.
Good afternoon, Quad Cities. Thank you for tuning in to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 1170 AM. It's already a good start today. No Ethernet problems, no internet problems so far. Look at that. So we are on ESPN 1170. You can listen to us on your terrestrial radio. Maybe out there you can listen to us on Sirius XM 80. Let me know, Leah, if your friend finds us on ESPN 1170.
Yeah.
I mean ESPN on 80 Sirius. And you can listen to us on Facebook Live, leave comments, questions, all that stuff out there. We've got Serge over there, Stat Cat on the message board.
Buddy.
Bomber's back. She's in for T-Roy.
Hello.
He's got. Where's he at again, Serge, exactly?
Avoiding me this
Mexico?
Is it Mexico? I think it is. Punta Cana? He's not Punta Cana. He's been there. Anyway, he's somewhere. He's a few margaritas deep in Coronas, so who knows if he's watching. That's a pretty
long neck bottles of Corona that he goes and pays for at his all-inclusive resorts.
Exactly, yeah.
Take a price.
And Coral's in. She took. She was off yesterday. She came in today.
Yes.
It's always good to see Coral. We get to catch up with her, get her take on all things going on, including whatever she brought in from Bud Light, 7G, and then I feel like I Monday night, was I off doing something on Monday night that I wasn't on social media, but I had this sneaky feeling that you didn't watch The Bachelor this week.
I did not.
Yeah, I thought so.
Well, so Monday night I had to drive up to Dubuque, and so I did not get a chance to watch it, but I recorded it, and then last night I didn't get done moving everything down and unpacking my clothes until like 11 o'clock. So it didn't even cross my mind to watch the recording until an hour and a half ago, and I was like, crap. I didn't even watch it.
It's all right. It's
You watched it?
All right.
So I don't have to feel bad about it?
I did, and then I didn't. And by the way, so this will be the quickest recap ever in the history of it.
Yes.
I was doing things in the background, and I thought that since my wife was gone, she was watching last week's, and it kept going on, and finally I walked up the stairs, and seriously, I need to relax. But I walked up the stairs.
You guys are already pumping the new Bachelor show full circle.
Oh, we're getting to that, baby!
Jeez, I'll play spoiler on
I've never seen that. This is my first
And then I walk up the stairs, and I go, wait a minute. Is this tonight's episode? And she was like, yeah, why? And I was like, why are you watching this without me? She goes, well,
I would have been violently angry.
I didn't know. She goes, I didn't know you still follow it. I said, it's episode 3. We talk about it on the show. What do you mean? It's only week 3. I don't even know you care anymore. I was like, forget it. So we can start over. I go, I'll just tune in later and catch up on the old. I know there's a problem with this Aaliyah girl, and it's all catty. They turn on each other all the time. So this Aaliyah girl, they're on a date, and then they're like, she's here for the wrong reasons, Peter. And he's like, what do you mean, Sydney? And she's like, she's here to be famous and Instagram and to be the next bachelorette. Yeah. He's like, seriously? I really like her. And she's like, trust me, Peter. And then Peter's like, no, I'm not dealing with this. So he's like, hey, at this pool party, he's like, Sydney, you tell everybody what you told me. And Sydney's like, fine. She's like, Alaya, I like Alaya because she's a liar.
Oh my God.
Hi.
Alaya's not here for the right reasons. She's here to be the famous. And Alaya's like, nah. And she's like, yes, that's true. And they're all like, yes, she is. Peter, and then I'll go on like one-on-ones.
They're all just ganging up
You're like,
against her.
Peter, she really does. When the cameras aren't on, she's like, I know how to turn it on at the right time. He's like, are you serious? He's like, I'm not here for that. I'm here for love. And then there's another one, Victoria, who's like, Peter, I have something to tell you.
Which one?
And he's like, there's two, I think it's Victoria F or P, I don't know which one. It doesn't matter.
There's two.
She's like,
F is the one
yes.
that cries.
And she's like, hey, Peter, I need to tell you something. And he's like, what's that? He's like, we know each other from the pageant circuit. I know Leia, whatever name, we're sticking with Elia. And he's like, I know her from the pageant circuit. And he's like, you do? And he goes, yes. And she told me to tell producers that we didn't know each other. She told me to lie. And now I'm telling you the truth. And he's like, get out! So he's like, get out. He's like, that's it. I don't like this at all. So then he's down to like the 2 final roses. And he has to overdo it. And he's like, oh, this is so hard. He's like, can I take a break? And like, yeah. So they go out there and the producer's like, what's going through your mind? He's like, I don't know what I want to do. Chris Harrison's there. And he's like, what do you want to do? And he's like, I didn't think this would happen. So Chris comes in. He's like, ladies, this is another first year in Bachelor. And he takes one of the roses. He's like, this is the final rose. He's not giving out another one. And then he gives it to this girl who's been crying the entire time. I think it was McKenna. And then he sends Elia home. He sends Elia home.
Those McKennas.
Yeah, he sends Elia home. And then they go next week on The Bachelor. And it comes, and she like comes back, and she's like, Elia comes back. She's like, I need to state my case because saying like, I might have made a huge mistake. So the question is, does he ask her to come back on the show, or does she bring herself on and say like, listen, you made the wrong decision. You know, I'm not Elia, I'm Leia. And he's like, all right, so this will be going on. And that's my Bachelor recap in hopefully around 3.5 minutes to 4.
I can't wait to never watch that.
It's all right. You don't have to. You can just listen to my crazy
I'm
show.
totally watching it to appease Jay.
You don't even need to watch it. I know how terrible it is.
It's on my recap here.
You're right.
I know how terrible it is, and later on we'll talk about more terrible television. It's fine.
I mean, I was live tweeting the last one. I was pretty like, no, she didn't.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
Jake, do you have the echo on purpose for your Bachelor talk so you can talk like God to everybody about The Bachelor?
Yes.
It's possible. I need to go into settings.
Watch the show.
Let me see here. I will go.
That came together way too.
That was really good. That was not planned, everybody.
Oh, God.
No, not at all.
Oh, better.
Oh,
taken
T-Roy's
care of,
favorite
everyone.
waiter remembered them, and they remembered Hazel,
What's that?
their favorite waiter down in Puerto Vallarta.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, are you talking to him right now?
I'm
No,
just
it's
looking at
a
their Facebook
post.
feed.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, well, like I said, we've got Bomber in here. We've got Coral. Coral, what did you bring from 7G for us?
We got Bud Light Seltzer.
I love it.
He's not sick of it yet.
No, as a matter of fact, on, I think it was Sunday night when it was like, okay, because Tiffany was held over for 48 hours at Atlanta, and I was like, hey, when you get home, maybe some wine or whatever else, and then I made a complete like 180 and text her, and I was like, no wine, Bud Light Seltzer. So I brought the variety pack.
Heck the Bachelor has changed you.
No, what do you mean?
You used to be a draft beer guy. Now you're drinking Bud Light Seltzers
I still
and
like
wine.
I still like my Coral, my summer shandies and the grapefruit shandies.
That's
but,
the J I remember.
Yeah.
You know, I did used to drink those, and over Easter, my cousin bought them again because he's from Wisconsin. That's what he drinks.
Yeah, I lived there for 7 years. I love Wisconsin.
And he brought it down, and I was like, you know what? I used to really like these, and I haven't had them for years. Let me try them. And then I was like, this is not what I remembered it to be.
It's a little Lysol-y.
Yeah,
No,
right?
get outta here.
It straight up tastes like cleaning supplies.
Like how they smell. Like that's kind of in the
What are
back
you
of your
talking
throat.
about?
Yes.
Summer shandies and grapefruit shandies.
I was like, this is just not
you are
it for
offended.
me right
I
now.
know.
They can't be
He
your
is
first
offended.
beer. It's
Look
gotta be
what
like
you guys did.
third
Get
or
outta here.
fourth.
Yeah,
Smells
he
like
was just slamming them like 4 to my 1. I was like, I can't drink
No,
this.
they're rich. They're real
Oh,
rich. You
God.
can't.
I'm like, I'd rather have an IPA right now.
It's like a blue moon. You gotta.
If I had
sip
to
it.
rank the Bud Light seltzers,
yes.
I'm sorry, coming up in fourth is strawberry.
What?
It's not.
You like lemon lime over strawberry?
Yeah.
He likes cleaning products.
Yeah, I think he does.
He thinks they're delicious.
I like the lemon lime, but I like it over ice with a lime.
I've heard that. And
Oh,
I've
you
also
make your
heard,
seltzers fancy.
Yeah.
Our Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread. We have some listeners with some suggestions for you, Coral.
Oh.
Our
Okay.
buddy Mr. Anderson
Uh-huh.
said put a little shot of tequila in it.
With your line?
That's dangerous right
And
there.
That
then-
sounds not good.
By the way,
me.
Anderson watches The Bachelor.
That sounds like bad decisions.
That sounds like I'll have one and then go to bed.
I like that.
At home.
I won't go to bed. I'll just start trouble.
At
That too.
3.
I'll text people I don't need to.
No, just okay, not for your whole drink, just a little bit on the side. A little splash of the lemon lime and a little shot of tequila in there.
I don't know about that.
Sipping the tequila, and then you just take a little.
Then you can
like
probably
a little-
chase
like an
with your
aperitif.
regular-
That
yeah.
aperitif.
There you go.
Just
Look at
sip on
you.
it.
God, you're fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Pulling up at number 3 for the Bud Light Seltzer on my power rankings.
I'm going to guess.
It is mango. I like mango, but you can only have like one. You can't go back to back. It's kind of like I really like the Aloha Beaches, the Natural Light Seltzer.
Yeah.
But sometimes the peach just overwhelms you.
I gotta have like something in between those
All right, so
every now and then.
we got the...
The old reliable at number 2 is lemon lime.
All right.
You like the black cherry?
Yeah,
the
I do.
best?
I end
That's
up
what
like
a lot of people are saying already.
It's...
I've heard
I'm bringing it in this
so
week.
many times the black cherry is better than competition.
Yeah.
Over
Which is
and
fine
over and
because-
over, I've heard.
because
100% agree with that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
White Claw's Black
don't-
Cherry is probably their number one seller. Or has
I like
been
the
for a while.
mango.
And their mango mango's
I don't.
number two,
yeah. I don't. I've never had their mango, and I don't really care for their black cherry.
here
But
it is.
yes, power rankings are, according to me, for Bud Light Seltzer, black cherry, lemon lime, mango, and then strawberry. Strawberry's not bad. It's a very natural flavor, but there's just something to it where it's just not. It doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't do it for you.
The
huh?
black cherry is hit or miss for me. Sometimes it tastes good, sometimes it doesn't. Just because I got sick all the time as a kid, and my cough syrup was cherry. So, and that is not
Makes sense.
just for
Yeah, that'll do it.
cherry things. Literally any type of cherry flavor, anything. Although I
Remind me
do
to
like
tell you a
actual
joke at the
black
break,
cherries.
Coral.
Of
But
course,
tell it online. Tell it
Nope.
now.
What?
it's probably
Oh.
inappropriate.
I'm the filter a lot of times here.
Yeah, I was gonna tell a
That
joke too, and I
surprises
can't
me.
tell it on the air either. So, but
That surprises me.
see, that doesn't bother me because I didn't get sick. It's hard to when you're like just built this way and body's a temple. You treat your body like a temple. It just doesn't. You don't get sick or anything. But
I just did as a kid. I don't know what was wrong with me. I
It's like
hardly ever
grape.
do now.
Like any grape juices or something. Like,
Oh,
ugh,
see, I
that's-
love grape.
You didn't have grape medicine.
No.
There's the difference. I always had the
I
grape.
like
It was the cheapest.
Bubble gum and the freaking cotton candy and the cherry and fruit punch. I can't have anything fruit punch.
What?
Oh, I hate it.
I agree.
shame.
I don't drink anything.
I
fruit
do
punch. It's too
not
much as a
like
kid.
fruit
There's
punch.
real quick. Is there anything you ate or drank a lot as a kid that you don't do anymore? Because I had this conversation actually with my 10-year-old.
Like, taste buds have changed, diets have
Yeah.
changed over the years, and I'm pretty open minded.
That happens, but I'm just like you're like no, I ate too much of that as a kid. Like or just like
I'm more the opposite.
Jack
Okay.
Daniels.
Like,
That's not fair. That's a kid too much.
easing
Jack
my
Daniels
way
as a
back
kid.
I
into
mean,
that
I was like
world.
15 or 16, but that was the first, Whoops.
Things are different then.
Yeah, well, that's a kid technically, right?
I wasn't thinking like that. Like we were. God, what were we talking about? My daughter asked me something, and I was like, "Oh, that's baloney. Actual baloney. It's not like what you're saying is baloney. It's just baloney." And she's like, "What's baloney?" And I was like, "It's
You don't want to know.
yeah." I was like, "Yeah, "It's like
baby
baloney,
formula.
really?"
Yeah.
Well,
It's
she-
delicious,
Huh.
but you don't want to know what's in it.
She got, and she
you
was
know
just like,
what?
"Well, why when we had it?" And I was like, "Cause you're not gonna eat it. Like, I don't buy it." And she was like, "Why?" I was like, "I ate a lot as a kid. Like, it comes in bulk, and you're outside playing, and your mom goes, just make a bologna. You're hungry, make a bologna sandwich. So you made a bologna sandwich, and now I'm like, nah. For a long time, I ate so much popcorn that I didn't eat popcorn for years. Now I'm
Oh,
back.
yeah.
yeah, see,
Yeah.
Peanut
but
butter
as you
and Reese's.
into like high school and college, when you start kind of cooking for yourself, like as super healthy as we always tried to make that.
Oh my
Ramen.
God, you ate healthy in college?
No, that's called being facetious. there.
You
Okay.
ate in college?
Ramen
yeah.
and pizza rolls.
So once you start figuring out, like, I didn't like steak when I was a kid because I thought the only way to have it was the well done steak when you're a kid, and Dad cuts it up for you. I'm like, it's chewy and everything else. And a medium rare steak later on in life. I'm like, this is what I've been missing.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't like avocados when I was younger. Oh, I do now. Just
Good fat.
I learned how to cook and I learned how I like them. Bologna's a good one, Jay, because I got a bologna sandwich for you to try. Local place.
Ew.
Really?
You don't like bologna?
Hate it.
Oh, I love it. I'll
Coral?
just eat rolled up
Hate it.
pieces of it.
Coral, where's our favorite place to eat in the village besides Bayside Bistro?
The corner deli.
Corner Deli. Okay,
yeah.
the fried bologna sandwich that is awesome.
They make really good sandwiches.
Yes, I haven't had a bad
try
one
it.
yet. But.
Really good. I need a Reuben from there very soon.
Reuben, yes.
Very soon.
Popcorn. Yeah, popcorn was one. Like I always had either the So I cooked on the stove popcorn or just
Jiffy
the regular Jiffy
Yeah.
Pop or the microwave. Throw it in the microwave, and it had movie theater butter on it.
Yeah,
Until
yeah.
I started to melt a little bit of my own butter, and then pour
Tabasco.
butter, and then Tabasco, hot sauce.
I've never done that.
Oh,
I was like, no way, you're crazy.
What?
I'm
I'm gonna have to
crazy.
do that.
I've never done that.
And then all of a sudden
I'd
you
like
try it,
to.
you're like, all right,
Hooked.
I guess I'll stop knocking stuff until I try it.
I guess mine was just cereal. Like, you know how your mom would buy
Oh, yeah.
one thing of cereal for like a couple weeks, and you're like, okay, please don't ever get Captain Crunch again. Ever.
I was
Destroys the
that
roof
way
of
with,
your
like,
mouth.
It
just
does. You get that film.
regular Cheerios. I'm like,
I like Honey Nut
love
Cheerios.
Cheerios.
I never
Cheerios
get
is
sick of
awesome.
those. I never get sick
but
of
you had
those.
regular
No.
ones, so.
But the Captain Crunch, it leaves that
Honey
film
Nut,
on the roof of
though.
your mouth. You know what we're talking about?
The
Do you-
film,
and it
the
like
cut.
hurts.
Oh, yeah.
What is
Ugh,
that?
I just
Yeah.
like
It's all the chemicals and preservatives
Yeah,
in it.
speaking of college, when you were
delicious.
talking about that, that was also a good part of the diet in college, how not to get too overweight, is that you couldn't eat on Sundays. One, because you were hungover, and two, because your mouth was burnt from the pizza that you put in the oven when you came home at 2 a.m. and you couldn't wait for it to cool off, so it burned so bad that you didn't want to eat anything
There's
the next
some
day.
truth to that.
I would get like Wendy's 4 for $4.
Well, I tell you
Sunday.
what, things I won't get sick of is this Bud Light Seltzer. I hope it's around forever.
Oh,
You guys have a tasting the 24th, right? All over the place. You're at Pints.
Say what?
You have a tasting for this
Yes.
and the locale.
This Friday, I have 3 samplings. I have it at Pints, Harrington's, and Oscars of Bud Light Seltzer and Goose Island Solo.
Yeah, Goose Island Soul. That's what it
Yep.
is.
We'll be there, 3:30 to 4:30, 5 to 6, and 6:30 to 7:30.
And then I didn't click on it, but I need to look at it. Seltzer, New York. Did Bud Light
Seltzer, Pennsylvania.
Seltzer, Pennsylvania. Thank
Yep.
you. But it was the link was like Syracuse, whatever. Who wrote it? Syracuse
Oh, yeah.
Press or something. What did Bud Light do with Seltzer, Pennsylvania?
So they used them as part of the campaign. Like the actual mayor of Seltzer, Pennsylvania, is in a lot of the commercials. They used him, and then they actually got a truckload of Bud Light Seltzer, I believe, a week or 2 before the actual launch. So they were the very first town to get Bud Light Seltzer.
Good for Seltzer,
Yeah,
Pennsylvania.
they found them and
Well, do they
decided
have
to
a-
give them seltzer.
Do they have a local sports talk radio show that had it before everybody else in the market? I don't
Probably
think so.
not.
Yeah, I don't get it.
they're not that fancy.
I'm not falling for that nonsense. Anyway, all right. Well, we got to talk about Bombers Chiefs
Okay, we got some big things to talk about.
we got to talk
We really
about
do. There are
49ers.
some important
We got
sports
to talk
things that
about
we're
it.
going
We
to
got
talk
to talk
about.
about Surge's Kansas
Oh
Jayhawks.
my God, girls!
This is something
This
else.
Here we
is
go.
one of
Okay,
the
can I just
biggest-
point out real quick that we are wearing the same color? We both have glasses on. We both have
have
blonde
nose
hair,
rings.
and we say the same thing at the same. Did you guys set this up on purpose?
I'm going to tell you
They're
something.
witches.
I
Double vision.
My guy Roy at the fitness center, I was working out today. He said, "I really like it when you have that girl on." And then I said,
Well, which
Bomber,
one?
Coral, and he was like, "That's either one. It's fine." he's like, it changes. He said it changes everything. I said, "Yeah, it does."
Well, I heard we have radio
yeah,
voices.
you ladies,
so.
you ladies are in for a treat.
Deeper.
So, going to talking about college basketball, we're just going to preview it now. I think Jay
Yeah.
wants to wait until the break. This is a
Yep.
little teaser here. This is probably one of the biggest brawls
It's
in college basketball history, probably, and it's the biggest fight since there's something called the Malice in the Palace, which we just talked about. That this was the biggest fight in the NBA. This is the biggest, worst fight since then that happened last night. So that's gonna be a crazy one. And what
Definitely
else we got?
something
We got a
else.
big debut tonight.
oh yeah, Zion.
Zion Williamson makes his debut for the NBA tonight. He's been out with knee surgery all year long. This guy's going to be the name that you're going to hear for the next 15 years in the NBA.
Zion.
That's
Zion
a cool
Williamson.
name. I don't mind
Interesting.
hearing it. Yeah.
And we get to figure out who the one guy is that doesn't vote in, Derek Jeter. All right, but before we do, Done Right TV and Security Solutions is proud to be your Dish premier local retailer. Use Dish's voice remote to search live TV, over 80,000 on-demand titles, and Netflix at the same time. Done Right has all the products you need to turn your home into a smart home. Not only do they have the state-of-the-art products, they even have their own installation experts for TV mounts, wireless networks, home theaters, security systems, and more. Call 866-84-RIGHT today to get the package that is right for you. Netflix streaming membership required. Voice remote requires internet-connected hopper. Restrictions apply. And we do have to talk about sports, but that Netflix thing really made me smile because I tell you what, we need to talk about that show.
Which part?
The Netflix part. Yeah, we need to talk about
Which
that
Netflix?
show.
Just your
I
show?
finally finished it,
'Cause
Jay.
I watched something else on Netflix yesterday, Jay.
About
You.
Hernandez.
I watched the
Oh,
entire thing.
I've seen it.
We need to.
All
Okay,
of
we'll
it.
talk. What are you talking about?
You.
Oh, wait. But yes, the Hernandez. Yeah, we'll talk about it as well.
I watched 3+ hours of the Aaron Hernandez special.
Good, and we can talk about
Finally.
that too.
That's next on my list.
Netflix streaming membership required. And like I said, turn your home into a smart home. We will be right back to talk more with everybody in the Hassle Castle. This is great.
This is Coach AC Earl. Don't hassle us, we're local.
ESPN 1170 AM.
When the soil around your foundation shifts, it can cause serious problems for your home, including bowing, leaning, or cracked basement walls. Helitech's patented wall anchoring system will provide a permanent solution for bowing basement walls and will get the job done right the first time. For basement wall repair, trust Helitech, your hometown foundation repair contractor for over 30 years. Soil constantly expands and contracts, putting pressure against your foundation, causing it to bow or crack. Helitech is the area's only contractor that uses AB Chance, an American-made wall anchoring system to provide a permanent solution for bowing or cracked foundation walls. Helitech proudly services Central Illinois, the Quad Cities, Central Missouri, Southern Illinois, Southeast Missouri, Western Kentucky, and the greater St. Louis regions. When it comes to basement cracks, don't ignore the problem. Trust Helitech to heal your home. Give yourself peace of mind knowing they will find the root of the problem, the solution, and heal it for a lifetime.
Heal your home with Helitech.
Score a touchdown on your next new or used purchase at Sexton Ford. With a huge selection of new Ford cars and trucks, you'll feel like you've entered the big game each and every time. You'll be treated like a pro player from sales to service, auto body to parts. Sexton also has a strong bench of mildly used vehicles too. Why wait? The game's on at Sexton Ford in Moline.
Oh yeah, Sexton Ford is the talk of the town.
The Circle Tap in Davenport is your place to catch the big game on February 2nd. Watch the championship game on one of their 16 flat-screen TVs or relax on the heated patio. Enjoy $2 domestic cans, $7 big-ass Bloody Marys, and cash giveaways every quarter. Plus, one lucky winner will walk away with $100 at the end of the game. Soak up your booze with $6 pulled pork sandwiches and fries, or grab a rack of Circle Tap's world-famous ribs. Enjoy great food, great drinks, and great friends during the big game at the Circle Tap, West Locust Street, Davenport.
Back by popular demand, Gobo Productions presents One Night of Queen. Since forming in 2002, Gary Mullen and the Works have performed to sell-out audiences all over the world. And now they're back in the USA for a brand new tour. One Night of Queen is a spectacular live concert recreating the look, sound, and showmanship of arguably the greatest rock band of all time. You'll hear classic Queen numbers including We Will Rock You, Fat Bottom Girls, Another One Bites the Dust, Bohemian Rhapsody, and We Are the Champions. One Night of Queen, performed by Gary Mullen and the Works. This show will rock you.
Coming to the TaxSlayer Center March 18th. Tickets are on sale now at the TaxSlayer Center box office and Ticketmaster.com. Presented by Town Square Media.
Sign up your foursome today for the 15th annual Big Brothers Big Sisters Punt Around. Over 20 custom-built holes transforming the River Center into the most innovative mini golf course ever. It's only $30 per person and great for any skill level. Register online at puntaround.org. All shifts available, but the deadline is this Friday the 24th. The 15th annual Big Brothers Big Sisters Punt Around, sponsored by Wells Fargo and the Quad City Area Realtors. January 29th through the 31st at the River Center in Davenport. Sign up now at puntaround.org.
Can't leave the office during lunch? You can still listen to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on the ESPN 1170 app. Download it today and never miss a thing from the Quad City sports leader, ESPN 1170.
Thank you for tuning in to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 1170 AM. Again, you can listen to us on the app. go to your Google Play Store, go to your App Store, download ESPN 1170 AM. You can also listen to us on ESPN 1170 AM as well. And you can listen to us and watch us on Facebook Live. Leave comments. I want to remind everybody about the Rod and Custom Show that's coming up. That'll be over across the river. 97X is putting that on. We had Kelly on from Done Right and also from Done Right TV. He's going to be over there on Thursday and Friday. So stop by there. Coral's in from 7G. We're sipping on some Bud Light seltzers. Bomber's in for T-Roy. Hey. Really brought it there, kiddo. Serge is over there at StatCat. And so we talked about it briefly before we went to break. And last night was something that we don't see ever. Well, it's been a long time since we've seen something similar, and that was in the NBA. But that was the brawl that broke out at the end of the game between Kansas and Kansas State. It was a massive bench-clearing brawl that erupted at the end of the game. Basically, say the name for me, Serge.
Silvio De Sousa.
So he blocked a shot at the end of the game when regulation's going out.
Here's what went down.
Okay.
So both teams have players that should be suspended and reprimanded for this. De Sousa is going to be at the center of this just because of his actions. Well, he's also got a bad history with being suspended for other reasons. And Kansas fought and appealed to allow this kid to play. And he's not the second coming or anything, but I would say he's maybe going to be a six-man caliber. He's a very good college basketball player, but he's not the best thing in the world. But they fought for this kid. He gets a second chance to come and play for Kansas, having a good season, and then there's always a good rivalry in Big 12 between Kansas State, Iowa State, Texas Tech, Kansas, all these teams. Kansas and Kansas State are having a good game. Gets out of hand. Kansas starts to pull away, I guess pretty early. Second half, final seconds, Kansas is up by 22 points in the final seconds. I just showed Bomber this. Mm-hmm. And the K-State player gets frustrated that they're about to get beat by 22 points here. So he makes I would call it a mistake, of stealing the ball. It's kind of unsportsmanlike. Goes down to go get a cheap layup at the end of the game for what? You just lost. Just walk off the court, shake hands, call it a day. Well, Silvio De Sousa for Kansas doesn't like that this guy just stole the ball from him, was going for a cheap basket. So he ran down, jumped up, and blocked him. Pretty bad.
Hardcore.
Hardcore. Yeah. Good block, whatever. But then where he messed up is where he stood over him. He walked over to him to stand over him. That's a technical automatically. That's unsportsmanlike. It's intimidation, taunting, whatever you want to call it. And then that's when the bench is cleared. A bench clearing brawl in college basketball you don't ever see. You don't want to see that. You shouldn't see that. Silvio De Sousa picked up a stool at one point. Now,
what? That's crazy.
Yeah, he picked up a short little stool he was going to hit somebody with it, but they took it out of his hands, thankfully. But I would not say that K-State is innocent in this. There are players that Leah saw that they were not even dressed in uniform.
That's the guy in the polo.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's the one thing. I know that was the thing. Everyone's like, who's the guy in the polo?
I believe that's Love for K-State. And then there was there's pictures and videos of De Sousa getting a punch thrown at him first too. So I understand, like you said, you got to protect yourself, but you got to keep it cool.
Yeah,
you got to keep a level head. You got to walk away. His suspension should be the worst one. I think his should be. I would say at least 10 games he should be suspended, if not for the rest of the year. So that's pretty bad. But there's gonna be suspensions all around. Both Bruce Weber and Bill Self, the coaches for each team, they were shaking hands supposedly while this went down, because this was the final seconds. They knew it was over. The basket wouldn't have mattered. They said a lot of times you'll see that basket, you'll see a little scuffle, and it gets broken up pretty quickly, right? That's not something you're going to see very often. Well, they said they didn't look up right away, and then all of a sudden they saw everybody getting involved, and that's when they went over there and tried to pull some of their players apart.
But it's not like they were losing by 2 points. It was
exactly.
literally
that was
22 points.
Yeah. Yep.
That's ridiculous.
I was updating the Facebook post. Who did you say 10 games that you thought should get at least?
Silvio De Sousa. He was the worst
more
one.
10. Do you think he's going to play in the NCAA ever again?
No, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't.
Wow.
But they're gonna look at this more, because we're also quick snap judgment. So Andy from Manatee saying kick him off the team. Okay, reprimand him. I don't know if he should be kicked off the team yet. Let's look at it some more. He had a punch thrown at him right after this. He should have gotten a technical.
No, let's not kick him off the team.
Okay, so
Let's hope let's hope there's still there's a portion of that student and student athlete. Let's get him to play. He can still help the team. He can do whatever else. Let's not kick him off the team. And kids make mistakes. We've learned that. We had conversations with it was when Saban talked about it in the middle of the year. He's like, we had this kid at Michigan State.
Yeah.
Remember that? And he went on that tirade, and he's like, "What do you guys all wanted me to kick him off?" Well, now he went on. Now he's the CEO of a company and all this stuff, and he's made all these great decisions in his life. Just like you said, let's not do snap judgment. Let's not do this cancel culture. And I'm not saying that's what he's doing, but that's what people are doing. But we've those are things we've talked about. So quick to be like, let's eliminate this. Let's eliminate this person.
I think repercussions are too harsh.
He's still a kid. I don't know how old he is.
Right, and so that's what Self was saying in the interview after the post-game interview last night. Is he hasn't gotten to watch it extensively yet. He said he's seen it on a phone and he's seen clips here and there. He hasn't seen the whole thing yet. So before he's going to make any judgment, he said, yeah, there are going to be repercussions. He said that his players were in the wrong. He said he doesn't necessarily think that it's just his players, but his players for right now definitely in the wrong, and that's what he's concerned with. It's pretty embarrassing. Like this is bad. It's a bad look for college basketball. So they're asking right away here, is this going to affect his NBA draft pick for D'Souza? I think it will a little bit. Nothing crazy. Like I said, he wasn't going to be like the top 2 or 3 picks anyway. But he was going to go to the NBA. I mean, he still will. But
what were his previous issues that he had?
It was paying players, paying his family, taking money.
So this is his second chance already.
Yeah, but I mean that's not necessarily. I don't necessarily blame that on him either. This happens across all of college sports.
That doesn't make it right, though.
It does not make it right. But he was kind of caught. So, but yeah, second chance for him, and this is what he gets. I think he should be a lot more, remorseful. He should know better.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Dang.
Well,
feel bad.
I mean, we're talking. This kid is 6'9", 245 pounds, and he was going to pick up a stool and hit somebody with it.
Yeah, no thanks.
Could you imagine being on the receiving end of that?
No. I can't even imagine getting in like a girly fist fight, honestly.
Oh, I can't say this.
I'm such a wimp. Nobody jump me, please.
I hate to point this out, but it is a little shot of adrenaline in the college basketball scene.
Colin just said that
because
it's a little more entertaining.
Oh, Colin.
Yeah, but it's scary because you don't want that to be the standard. You got kids watching these games, same as pros.
Yes, but the thing is that
he has a point.
All right, you don't have Zion this year, which you've already talked about before the break, and we'll talk about again. You don't have a Zion. You don't have somebody that's just. It's not must-see TV. I mean, we talked about him last year. Like, did you watch him last night? And then even to the much when the shoe exploded.
On my most hated team ever to watch, I watched every single game because he was so exciting.
When in actuality, you should be paying more attention to it because there's incredible parity in NCAA basketball this year. As a matter of fact, just yesterday, the new top 25 came out, and we have our 7th different number 1, and that for the season. For the year, and that ties a record for the most different number 1s, and it's only January.
Right.
So there's a lot of things going on. Baylor is the last number 1, so there is a lot of parity out there.
So you're saying that this was staged?
I'm not saying this. You know how many times I didn't want to because you know how many times I make it a WWE reference. I don't want to. I'm just saying
ratings are down, guys. We need something to go with.
We'll talk about ratings as well, and the NBA they're down
Who's got a history of being in trouble? D'Souza, you got to fall on the sword here, buddy.
Yeah, hey, buddy. It's something. Yeah, so it is. You don't want to use like puns like black eye on a program or the sport. I just don't. We'll see where it goes. It's just nasty. Like the photo with the basketball player with the chair over his head is nasty enough.
And all the students sitting around there too that were.
So, I mean, that's the difference between Malice in the Palace, girls. This was something. Was it? What did you say? 16 years ago, Jay?
Yeah.
No, sorry. 15 years ago in November. It was November.
14.
2004, right?
2014. Yeah, 2004. Yeah.
2004. Yep. Okay. So the
great.
difference in
That
that
was
this
great.
is that
I
was
was so
that was a pro
little.
game. That was a pro game. It was the biggest, scariest fight I've ever seen at any professional event. This is players are walking into the stands and fighting fans because fans are throwing things at the players.
I thought I was going to
That
get stabbed
happened-
just by watching it.
Okay.
Didn't that happen with the Conor McGregor and what's his
might
face?
Oh, yeah, it came over. Yeah,
Last
it came
year?
in.
Throwing the
He went
dolly
to
at
the
at
crowd.
the bus and
That was his opposition though. That was his team, wasn't it?
They came in and they came
It
in
was
and
the
after
other
the-
player.
so-
I can't.
so you
Khabib.
see- so
he went to
You're
the
using
crowd,
that as a
but
reference.
anyways.
Mouse
His
in the Palace is
posse.
10 times
Yeah.
worse and 10 times scarier because these guys are. This is all 100% real. This is in the stands. This is people are in danger on both sides. The players are in danger. The fans are in danger.
Right.
And like you said, we got kids watching this whole thing too. Men and women are getting trampled. So this was not between fans and the players. This was just between the players how it started, and then there were other people all right there. So
Yeah.
it was scary.
That is scary.
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
Unnecessary. But in better news in NCAA basketball, Iowa hosts Rutgers tonight.
He's suspended indefinitely. Breaking news.
By the NCAA
jeez.
or Kansas? Because that's two
does not
different
say it.
things.
Kansas announced a suspension Wednesday in a statement from self.
That's
no
Kansas just saying we'll wait to see what the
They're saying
NCAA
yes,
says.
yes, he's suspended.
Yeah, so what Kansas is saying when they say indefinitely is that we're going to suspend him until the NCAA comes down with their ruling, and then we'll go with what they say.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that means. Iowa tonight hosts Rutgers. Rutgers is in the top 25 for the first time in a long time, very long time. They're
be a good
14-4
game.
on the year. They're 5-2 in Big Ten play. Iowa's 19 in the country, 13-5 in the year, 4-3 big play. This is a one play. They won't play them again. It's not a home and home, and it's actually the next two games are home and just a one play. Also, next Monday's game against Wisconsin is as well. This is the first ever ranked matchup between Iowa and Rutgers. And Iowa right now is 8-1 at home, when its last 7 straight at Carver, since it's only set back to DePaul on November 11th. Iowa last week swept the week's Big Ten weekly honors. Luka Garza was named Big Ten Player of the Week, and C.J. Frederick earned Big Ten Freshman of the Week honors. So it's going to be a fun game there tonight. It's at 8 o'clock tip-off. If you can get up there, go ahead and do that. It will be on it'll be on Big Ten Network if you can't make it up. It's televised nationally. So it's a good time right now. Iowa's really mixing it up. Did you see over the weekend there was early predictions of where they would be in the NCAA tournament? They had Iowa and UNI playing in the first round. So I mean, it's always interchangeable. Obviously, we have 7 different number ones this year, but it was a nice little forecast to what maybe Iowa basketball fans can look forward to. All right.
That'll be fun.
They're minus
Are you an
5.5
Iowa fan?
tonight. If you didn't say
Yeah.
that.
You are?
Yep.
All right, well, let's take our second break, and then when we come back, let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, San Francisco 49ers, and more about Super Bowl talk, because we can't get enough of that.
No.
For nearly 12 years, Pints has been providing the Quad Cities with some of the best beer, drinks, and good times around. Join them Monday through Friday for happy hour from 3 to 6. Enjoy complimentary Vans Pizza at 5 p.m. Stop in any day of the week for one of their daily specials. That's Pints at 5268 Utica Ridge Road in Davenport.
You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 1170 AM.
The Storm returned to the Tax Slayer Center this weekend. Finally, the Storm battled the Knoxville Ice Bears with $2 beers and hot dogs until puck drop, and the game is presented by Palmer Chiropractic. Saturday is Rock and Roll Night, presented by Astor Furniture Clearance Center, and everyone who purchases a ticket to Friday or Saturday's game gets a free ticket to Margaritaville Senior Day on Sunday, presented by Live Well Seniors. Sunday only, you can bring your dog to the game, and puck drop is at 1 o'clock. Get your tickets online at quadcitystorm.com.
Sign up your foursome today for the 15th annual Big Brothers Big Sisters Punt Around. Over 20 custom-built holes transforming the River Center into the most innovative mini golf course ever. It's only $30 per person and great for any skill level. Register online at puntaround.org. All shifts available, but the deadline is this Friday the 24th. The 15th annual Big Brothers Big Sisters Punt Around, sponsored by Wells Fargo and the Quad City Area Realtors. January 29th through the 31st at the River Center in Davenport. Sign up now at puntaround.org. puttaround.org.
Get your maximum refund and your taxes prepared for half the price with AmeriFile.
I'm Christy, a single mom from Bettendorf. I got tired of paying $250 at H&R Block, so I went to AmeriFile. As advertised, they did my taxes for far less than half the price.
Bring in a copy of last year's tax return done by H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, Liberty Tax, or any other tax preparer, and we will cut your tax prep fees in half, guaranteed.
This year, AmeriFile has the best tax prep deal in town. Save hundreds having your taxes prepared with AmeriFile, and you get free Rudy's Tacos, free Whitey's, free Chick-fil-A, Hungry Hobo, or Fresh Blend Smoothies. Trust AmeriFile's 30 years tax experience to handle any simple or complex tax situation. Remember, this tax season, save hundreds with AmeriFile, the best tax prep deal in town. Free Rudy's Tacos, Whitey's Ice Cream, or Hungry Hobo. AmeriFile Tax Centers, Davenport, Moline, and Clinton. Call 762-8087. That's 762-8087 or AmeriFile.com.
H&R Block is a registered trademark. Half the price taxes from last year's fees. $75 minimum.
The Circle Tap in Davenport is your place to catch the big game on February 2nd. Watch the championship game on one of their 16 flat-screen TVs or relax on the heated patio. Enjoy $2 domestic cans, $7 big-ass Bloody Marys, and cash giveaways every quarter. Plus, one lucky winner will walk away with $100 at the end of the game. Soak up your booze with $6 pulled pork sandwiches and fries, or grab a rack of Circle Tap's world-famous ribs. Enjoy great food, great drinks, and great friends during the big game at the Circle Tap, West Locust Street, Davenport.
And now an old classic commercial from Mark Brenny.
PMS hotline.
I'm hiding in the closet. I'm really frightened. I didn't know who else to call.
It's all right, sir. Now tell me, what's the matter?
Well, it's my wife. She's in this mood.
Was it a grouchy mood, sad mood, moody mood? Sir, please describe the mood.
Well, kind of like all three.
You didn't tell her she was fat, did you?
Geez, I'm not that stupid. See, I was test riding a new Suzuki Intruder from Brenny's Motorcycle Clinic in Bettendorf. Well, I guess I just forgot her birthday was today, and she started yelling at me.
Go on.
So I told her that I was buying it for her.
First, you need to reassure her and tell her that you love her and that riding a Suzuki motorcycle helps to ease cramps and bloating.
Cramps and Hey, is this the pre-motorcycle syndrome hotline?
No, sir. This is the other PMS hotline.
Oh, no, she found me. Gotta go. Maybe I'll be calling you in 28 days.
Come test drive one today. Brenny's, 4426 State Street in Bettendorf, across from Alcoa. Almost.
Sign up to be an ESPN insider, and you can win prizes every month from the Quad City sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Welcome back to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 1170 AM. We're live in the Hassle Castle, brought to you by Done Right TV and Security. In the studio with us is Bomber Leah Mathis.
Hey.
Coral from 7G.
What up?
Statcat Surge is over there. We just got done talking about the. Have they named this fight last night? Have they?
No, I don't think they should.
Because you don't want to. Yeah, I agree. Because you don't want to shed light on it this early.
Giving a nickname to a serial killer. It's just glorifying it.
Okay. Well, speaking of serial,
there you go. How about that?
That's a good segue.
You like that?
All right. So you watched this yesterday. And I think so. Now it's making sense to me because I was like, oh, well, we talked about it, but then you were gone when we talked about it. I watched last week the Netflix documentary about Aaron Hernandez. And is it In the Mind of a Killer? That's what it is. I believe that's what it's called. And it was Aaron Hernandez was a tight end for 6 years. Is it 6 years?
Killer Inside the Mind of Aaron Hernandez.
I don't even know if it's 6 years, if he was on them or not. He just signed a contract, but obviously, killed a couple dudes. The whole thing, it's not like that, obviously. I don't want to say it like that. I said last week, the guy who's an executive producer, worked for Yahoo Sports, he said it best when everyone's like, well, why? Did you figure out why? And he said it's a mix of almost, I don't want to say the perfect cocktail of CTE, of upbringing, of drug abuse, of sexuality, those type of thing, and it all kind of just molded him into
textbook.
And there's also entitlement. So you go ahead. I want to hear your
the joke to start this. This is where it actually sparked me.
I'll tell you what the joke is.
Well, so I always I want to watch this. I want to watch this. I don't get to it. Whatever. So I saw a meme yesterday, and I thought it was incorrect because I read this and I said to myself, no way. Because first of all, where'd Cam Newton go to college, Jay?
He went to Auburn.
Want to know where he went to before he went to Auburn?
He was at Florida.
Florida.
Yes.
Okay. The 2008 Florida Gators. Girls, they're going to hear some names here. I'll fill you in more later.
Yep.
We needed 30 for 30 in the 2008 Florida Gators football team. They had Aaron Hernandez, Cam Newton, Tim Tebow, Riley Cooper, Janoris Jenkins, Percy Harvin, the Pouncey twins on one team. These dudes won the title while they're selling bricks and killing people on the side, all by being led by a pastor.
I co-signed
that is
100%
I thought that was a joke at first. I'm like, no, he was not. Oh yeah, he was.
Tim Tebow, the pastor.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah, we wondered why Tebow was praying so damn much.
Yeah, praying for his safety.
He had murderers and drug dealers on his team.
I co-sign
and they won the title.
What's
the whole year.
What is going
Dream
on
team.
behind the scenes of that? I co-sign that documentary 100% because in this they also have Urban Meyer and his wife in there, and she's like, oh, he was like another son. He was like a son to us. He came over on Sundays and read Bible verses with us and everything. And this is talking about Aaron Hernandez. And the dude would just like there's all these different things. Let me tell you one, and I know I'm repeating myself for those of you who didn't listen last week, I'll say it again. The whole thing that comes out right away and it just blindsides you because I'm sorry, I didn't do my history of Aaron Hernandez. I'm not one of those people. I mean, I'm not one of those people that's gonna like, oh, I'm gonna study this guy because he's so warped. But within like I don't know 10 minutes when they're talking about this childhood friend and he's saying like, yeah, he's like, yeah, upbringing is rough, but we were buddies, we were pals,
right?
And he goes, we'd sit around and
kill animals.
No, not even that.
No,
not
that was Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, we'd sit around.
Wrong
and,
serial killer.
He's like, we'd be, skipping school or they'd be off campus, and he's like, we'd smoke blunts, we'd get high.
Typical teenage stuff.
Yeah, he's like, we're 15, 16 years old, and when there's not girls around, what do teenage boys do?
Oh,
and I was like, not that.
That is not. No.
They experimented, is what they said.
But he was like so laid back.
That's not
He's like,
typical.
You know who this was?
Interesting.
That we're talking about here.
The quarterback.
This is the quarterback
Of
on
the high
Aaron
school team.
Hernandez high school team.
Yeah.
I didn't know if
Right,
you said
but
that
do you
or
guys
not,
buy that? Because there's literally just his word out there saying this. And I don't like how they put that in the documentary, saying that this is gold.
They're not saying that this is gold, but I don't think. Okay, hear me out. I've heard people say that they're just this kid is out there and now there's nobody.
He can
to
say whatever
defend
he
him.
wants.
He say whatever he wants to, but he's saying that, and then everything else that kind of goes all around it with Hernandez's dad's personality, being the guy that he was, the position that these kids were in, playing football is close. Who's to say if it was true or not? I don't know. I wasn't
Right.
there.
Well, nobody knows.
So that's okay, but that's what they're saying. They're saying, but all this confusion between his dad dying, his mother getting with another man shortly thereafter.
Wait,
living in his,
slow it down,
there's
Serge.
all this
Slow it
stuff in
down.
there. Okay.
So his father, who's known as the king in the neighborhood, he went to UConn. He was a football player, so much that he named his husky dog UConn. By the way, their mascot's a husky. And he's the guy, and he also had
So much
alcohol
masculinity.
problems, and he had domestic abuse problems. This is starting a path of entitled or entitled or allowance of behavior. Not
tolerance.
There
yeah.
you go. So he would come home. They would have fights. He would be intoxicated. They tell a story, and it just rolls off their tongue when she's like, "Yeah," and then she threw a phone at him, and then he cracked her skull against the sink. And you're just stop.
Right.
You're just like, whoa, no, we're not gonna keep going. Like every little thing that they were like, oh yeah, and then they just talk about it. It's never like a pause or
It's
like
normalized to them.
There you go. That's the word, normalized.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you're just like, no, what's going on? Well, then father passes away, and he looks up to his father and everything, and his mother shortly thereafter takes up with his cousin, Aaron Hernandez's cousin's husband.
Oh, that's lovely.
So he's got this warped idea of it, and so much that he's upset. He's obviously upset, and it comes up later in conversation in jail conversation. He's talking to his mother, and his mom's yelling at him, and she's screaming at him like, when you signed that $40 million contract, you didn't give me $1 million.
Yes.
That's just what she said.
Are you kidding me?
And
She said, you could have given me $1 million out of that $40 million. I would have been set for life. And he goes,
I'm sorry, he doesn't owe you anything.
Well, and he goes, what are you talking about? The next sentence was,
you don't ask for it.
Well, no, his next sentence was, you act like I just had that. Like, they just go, here's your contract, here's the cash in a briefcase.
Right.
No, that's not how it works.
No.
Okay, you get your money over a certain period of time.
Yeah.
You know,
Taxes.
there's this thing called banks that they have that might hang on to it.
$1 million estate.
Right.
Yeah.
And he goes on to be like, you know, basically he's like, you ruined my childhood. You ruined me.
You effed me up.
Yeah. And she's like, and he's saying like, the body wasn't even, kind of saying the body wasn't even cold. And you just.
Her cousin, his cousin's, how was it? Is her cousin's husband?
Yeah. Yeah, her cousin's cousin. And by the way, his cousin is the one person that remained the most loyal to him out of the whole thing.
What about his girlfriend? Until now, because she just had a baby. She just had a baby with his best friend.
Oh my gosh. What? I need a chart.
I know, right? I need a bullet point presentation.
Okay, and that's
This is my next series
what the documentary
to watch.
did a good job of, is having a timeline with the dates before they would go into each story. So it's kind of seemed like there was some stuff coming out of left field here and there, or they jumped back and forth a little bit. But they did this timeline for a reason. It kind of came together in the third part. It's a 3-part series.
Okay.
In the third part, it kind of put it together, and why they did it in this order was maybe suggesting, not saying that it was okay from what he did or how he acted, but maybe a little bit more into the reason. The title of the thing is in the killer's mind. Like,
right.
This is why, maybe providing an explanation. I'm no expert. I'm not going to say if it was or not, but I might have my own personal feelings on it. But they did a really good job of creating that timeline of why and when. Just thinking, as I was sitting there watching it with a couple buddies of mine last night, you're looking at the Florida. When he got to Florida, he was 17 years old.
Yeah.
He went to the Florida Gators, who, like I said, won the championship the next year.
Yep.
17. He's a stud tight end for this team.
He's
in
a
the
god.
biggest
amazing looking
college atmosphere at the time. You look at, and it's called the Swamp down at Gainesville. You look like, I just said, can you imagine going to that level at 17, walking in, and you're one of the best players on the team?
No.
Like,
the narcissism it starts to develop there.
I believe he and Tebow were roommates at one time, Jay.
Were they? Well, they took totally different turns in life.
A little bit, yeah. So, okay, now back to the meme that I said, all the players I listed, like, these are some dangerous, scary, talented, crazy guys. Like, you got Tebow with John 3:16 and Philippians 4:13 under his eye black.
And his virginity.
And then he got Aaron Hernandez, who was just getting a new tattoo every day.
But it's what culture you idolize and what culture you follow.
Well, and they made
you...
I think personally they made his weed smoking or marijuana usage such a huge part of all this, which I don't know.
Marijuana doesn't make you kill people.
They wanted to criminalize him more than they.
Sure, but
they
kept talking about this and in court, and some the funny things like Black and Milds, which is something that they used to roll blunts.
Nope.
Okay.
And no.
And these are some of the quotes you're hearing online because they were some of the comical parts of this fairly serious documentary. But going back to all those players I listed, Jay, out of the 120 some players on that 2008 Florida Gators roster, 41 of them have been arrested either in college or in the pros or both.
Florida. It is Florida.
41.
I have a couple friends. Every time we watch the news, and I'm like, I'll text Bet.
There'll be at least
Florida.
one Florida man.
Bet is Florida. It's always Florida. Why?
Yeah.
Something in the water in Florida.
Something else down there.
Well, it's just, I think there's two demographics down there. There's either just the wild and crazy, or there's the snowbirds and the retirees that move down there when they're 60 and can afford to be in the gated communities.
And then the social media influencers.
Right. There's no in between. It's like it's one or the other. There's two extremes.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been down there many times, and I've experienced both sides. And one side is a little bit more fun, but a little bit more dangerous.
The way you said that, a little more dangerous. Can we do ASMR?
What? So that was my take on it.
So let me ask you a question, Serge.
Yeah,
you're gonna know the answer to this because I've never watched this because I've watched so many documentaries on Aaron Hernandez already.
Okay.
That seeing this, I was like, it'll be just repetitive information. So, and I will eventually. Do you think that because he was appealing his case, that he's no longer found guilty? Do you think that he took his life so that his daughter would get the NFL payout?
Partially, yes.
You do?
And then
I think so too.
And then they changed that law.
After.
So after he did that,
because it was still the law then.
Odin Lloyd's family and legal team went and appealed that ruling, that ancient state law in Massachusetts. They appealed that and they won that.
Okay, but that was after Aaron Hernandez took his life.
It was after, yes.
Okay, so she would still be entitled to that NFL payout.
I don't know exactly the numbers on this.
We have to find this out. Does anybody know?
I'm sure I can find it.
Yeah, let's do that.
It's man, it's a mess, and
but that was the one thing I was like, you know what,
so
not a good guy, not this. But I go, if his last act on this earth was to take care of his child, you have to give him that little tiny morsel of respect.
A lot of speculation and a lot of open-ended questions here at the very end of this doc. Is he took his life in prison, and it was shortly after this happened, after he was outed, after potentially this reporter did this. And then they found out the law that he was convicted of this crime. But then while he was in appeals, if you die in prison while you're still under appeal for something,
not guilty.
You're not guilty.
Correct.
The conviction doesn't stick. You're basically found. It's just dropped.
Right.
The whole case is dropped.
Right.
So that way his child and
They would
fiance
inherit.
would still get the money.
Am I missing something? Who gave him this information?
The NFL contract. You can look it up.
Oh, I understand that, but who's the person that's like?
It was
Probably his attorney.
No, they said it was well known in prison.
Yeah, I think
In
people would
this
tell
prison,
him.
in this state prison,
sure.
And I'm
They
sure
said
his
it was
attorney
well
was
known.
probably like, "Hey, bro, listen. Like, if if I was his attorney, I'd be like, I know this is.
I blame Andy Dufresne from Shawshank for building those libraries.
Yeah,
It wasn't
Then for all
French
the information
music.
you can
It
get.
Funny you should say that, Jake, because want to know what he was asking the whole time was in there? He was asking for books.
Yeah, Harry
Yeah.
Potter.
He's asking for Harry Potter. He said. Make,
Don't you dare point at me,
no.
Jay.
Wait, Aaron.
He said, make fun of me all you want. He goes, I don't care. He goes, I love those books.
That's all he was
And he
asking.
said
He
they
was.
barely had any books in there.
I'd
Yeah.
be reading legal
So
books.
They
night and day.
didn't have the.
No, I'd be
Dufresne-
reading Harry
Okay,
Potter.
he does say he's talking to his fiance, and he's like, "Can you do me a favor?" And she goes,
What?
"What do you want me to do now, Aaron?"
I don't blame her.
Want to know why that sentence is intriguing?
Yeah,
I need you to
because-
do me a favor because she was speculative of ditching the gun.
In a big
I
safe.
believe it.
In a big. I mean, no, it's on the video camera.
Oh,
It's a
dude,
big
she's like, I
black
don't know what he
safe
has in his
a
hand.
garbage
You
bag.
can see the, you see the gun.
Don't mind me.
What
I'm
do
like,
you
hey-
want me to do now, Aaron?
But I
what
thought
now? Can I get the Harry Potter book?
I thought your
Oh, that's
significant
it?
other doesn't have to testify
That's it?
against
Oh,
you.
yeah, no
Or-
problem. Yeah.
The book is cut out,
Yeah, there you go.
and there's a
Didn't he hang
gun
himself?
inside.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what
Oh.
I thought. Did his neck look like Epstein's? I'm just curious.
I don't
No,
know.
okay.
Also, something else that they brought in there because then we're talking
'Cause
about
Epstein didn't kill himself.
CTE and what led them to this. Did he kill himself because of that? Did he kill himself to provide for his family for the appeal? So all these different things. They brought up Junior Seau in this doc.
Was he worried about retaliation at any? Because that was his own doing.
Retaliation. He's in prison. He just got potentially outed. We don't know.
But the
who
camera
found what out.
system was because
He was
of
going
that-
to prison
the guy
for
that
life and he
shot.
knew it.
And the guy, and he was on
Right.
the guy he shot in the face. So I shouldn't laugh, but he's on trial, and they're like, "Why didn't you give up the name?" And he's like,
You mean his drug dealer? You can say
Yeah,
that.
yeah, okay.
The guy that he shot in the face was his drug dealer that didn't give up. Aaron Hernandez shot him at point blank to his face.
Cops in his hospital. And
Yeah.
he's like, "You got a hole in your head from a guy." And he's like, "Yep."
He's like, you're not going to tell us who? He's
Nope.
like, we can get another killer
Why
off the
wouldn't you
street
tell him?
because he wanted to
on
retaliate.
the stand, he says, "Because I wanted to kill him myself."
He said-
Under
This
oath.
is some
He
Tupac
said,
and Biggie
he
kind of
said,
stuff.
I did not want cops to do this. He said, I wanted revenge. It is. So this is how wild this whole
See,
documentary
it's amazing. It's
I
so
have
far
to
from the
watch
world I
this.
grew up in that it's really interesting.
Yeah, a little bit. I want to hear more about 15, 16-year-old Liam just chugging Jack
In my
Daniels.
closet?
Just like, no.
In my closet.
It is all right. So, how did you
broke my
feel
chair.
about the documentary,
Yeah, that one
Serge?
sucks.
Did you like it?
Yes.
You did. Okay.
100%.
All right. I fell on the.
As somebody who likes
Dude, I'm thinking.
sports, football, I got to play at a much lower level
Yeah.
of college football for a very short period of time. But I've had concussions, so I'm intrigued on the CTE stuff.
everyone.
The Junior Seau, aspect of this, Jay, is a big deal because they brought up him with Junior Seau, who played for the Patriots at the end of his career, who took his life.
Yes.
Okay, Junior Seau shot himself in the chest. Do you know why he did that?
To save his brain.
So they could save his brain, so they could study his brain and learn from it.
Yeah.
And they did.
Wait,
yeah, the
who?
concussion stuff.
The CTE, that's what we're talking about here.
CTE.
Okay.
I don't know what
The
that
football
means.
players, they have the concussions from all the impacts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he wanted them to study his brain so that they could.
Aaron.
No.
No,
Wait,
this is
who?
Junior Seau. that we're
Yeah,
talking
I
about.
totally tuned out for
It's
a
all right.
second.
My chair sunk. And nobody can see that. Well, I don't know if you can see this, but
It looks pretty funny.
Okay,
I look really
Coral.
What?
CTE. This is the major issue here, and I think you'll be pretty interested in this.
I
It
have
is
heard about it, but
chronic
I didn't know what it
traumatic encephalopathy. Okay.
Encephalopathy.
That's what
Oh,
CTE.
I like
is.
that.
Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah,
I like that word.
It's a very serious thing. This is what they're talking about. Is this going to now you have parents saying, "Do you want your kids to play football?" Growing up, this is a normal conversation. You hear like, "What do you think?" Well, I played. His uncle played. His brother played. He'll be fine. Or you have other professional athletes. You had guys that were in the pros that retired after 2 years because they were afraid of some of the symptoms that they might already be having, and they don't want to go crazy. They don't want to, be damaged, and they're worried about their own health. Like, there's a lot of different, I guess, opinions on this.
Everybody knows football is a contact sport. If
Sure.
if you're gonna do it, you know the risks. You assume them or you don't. So I mean, of course you feel bad when somebody ever comes down to this or some major inflection or, But you know what you're going into.
So that's why I really did like all the aspects of this. Like I was just starting to mention, Jay. Yes, I stopped playing the short college football career that I had because I had concussions. I was told if I wanted to read above a third grade level the rest of my life that I should probably stop.
Wow.
That's insane.
I said sure.
How old were you?
19.
Wow, what position did you play?
I was recruited as a running back and then switched over to defense, played outside linebacker and strong safety.
So you had a lot of contact.
Yeah, tons. And I had a history of concussions growing up, just from going back from falling out of a tree as a kid to junior high basketball,
See,
to
I
high
don't
school
remember
football,
concussions
to
being a
college
big
football.
conversation piece growing up ever.
They didn't talk about them. They weren't as serious. It's, you got bonked in the head.
Well, I played softball for 8 years, and we never had to wear helmets when we were up to bat. But
Right.
never. Now they all wear them.
Yeah, they wear them face masks to
Everything,
pitch,
yeah.
third base.
Safety's come a long way,
Everything. So, yeah, it's something I'm very interested in. I try to learn as much about it as possible, and I'm not saying that's the reason the way I am here, guys. But
Yeah, now it all makes sense. I get it.
It's all coming together. Yeah.
I get
So,
it.
and that's okay. Our instant reaction right here. I'm not offended whatsoever by this. We're all friends here too.
Yeah.
But that people instantly want to joke about that. Okay. Maybe we shouldn't be. Maybe we shouldn't be joking about. look, he doesn't know where he's at right now.
No.
He got
Yeah,
hit.
'cause it's not funny at all.
It is serious,
But I have that too, but it's just from getting old. It's not from
Sure.
anything.
Me too, and probably alcohol. But
I don't do that. The devil's juice.
We talk about all the empty cans sitting over there.
okay. And coffee.
No, but
and-
it's super interesting the concussions because you're hearing more about it now. They hid it for decades. They didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, and they didn't know about it. Obviously, we've become more educated and there's more knowledge about all this stuff.
Yep.
But do you think it really changes who these people are, makes them?
So, I think it affects every single person differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I don't
agree.
think there's no cookie cutter. Just
I
because
agree.
I have a concussion doesn't going to turn me into a serial killer down
Right.
the road. Okay,
Right.
it doesn't mean I'm going to go start living the
Right.
risky lifestyle. The guy that Jay was talking about that Aaron Hernandez shot in the face was his drug dealer. His drug dealer became his friend. Why? We're talking about a kid who was, the gifted athlete, had everything in the world, not necessarily handed to him, but maybe had a difficult childhood. But he's in college playing on the 2008 Florida Gators, and all they're talking about this, he starts hanging out with this drug dealer who is a known. When they were listing all the things that guy's been arrested for, or all the open cases against that
didn't
guy.
hear that part.
It was wild. They're like, I would say they had to cut away and keep coming back. They're probably 20-some things. Why is Aaron Hernandez hanging out with this guy?
Because of protection and it's street notoriety and all of that kind of stuff.
It starts out as this is the guy that gets me my drugs.
It's
you know
also
what?
cool. There's
Yeah.
a culture to it, and they
I
find that
don't
appealing.
really.
A lot of young
think
boys
that
do.
He might think that that's what he's worthy of.
Huh? Sure.
Growing up, that's what he thinks he's worthy of with his background.
So is it? So you think? But we've agreed that he's a narcissist. So do you
Well,
think that it's a
yeah.
combination of insecurity? Well, narcissists are insecure.
I think he's two extremes at the
think-
same
think he-
time.
yes,
I
think
agree.
He's a sociopath.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's
Okay,
basically the
because
combination.
if you
of the two.
listen to Jay, did you?
This
you
is
heard
all
much about on the
speculation.
documentary?
Of course, this is opinion.
Have you heard any
We're not
clips on it?
doctors.
These are opinions, not facts.
Okay, so you're talking about some of the conversations that he was having with his mom, with
Yeah.
his fiance and baby. The way his voice, the vernacular that he uses, the tone of his voice
The
when he's speaking to
inflection,
his mom and
softer.
everybody else versus once he's talking to his buddies. I know we all talk different around our friends versus our
Yeah.
parents and stuff.
100%.
But this was like two different people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really
Both-
true. Yeah.
Not just the language. I mean, just the way his voice sounded was like it sounded like somebody different. So
Right.
Interesting. I'm
interesting.
so
It was good.
interested to watch this now. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
me
had
too.
to finish you first.
Yeah, it's just it's a 3-part hour piece, right? It's not.
Yep.
I mean, it's interesting to watch. I just didn't know. I didn't fall on the. You gotta watch this. I
No.
thought the whole idea when people were like, "You gotta watch it" when it came out was, we're overselling it. Someone wanted to be the first to get out there and do it. It's okay. And I've been, I reflected more on it, and I'm like, it's important because of the idea. Is it CTE? Is it your upbringing? What are we doing here? I mean, even his first his time out at the University of Florida, and he's out at a club with Tim Tebow, which by the way brings you pause because you're like, wait, he's out with Tim Tebow at a bar,
and he's 17 at a bar.
Yeah,
What could they be talking about?
Well,
is that the one? He was 17 when he did that to the manager.
yeah, he had 2 drinks.
He had 2 drinks, and the manager comes up.
Waving his tab at
He's
him.
like, hey, you got to pay your bill. And he's like, he thinks it's part of his scholarship. And the manager's like, no, pay your bar bill. So he beats up the manager.
This was Aaron Hernandez when he was 17?
And then when the cops come,
Red flags all
the
over
manager
the place.
refuses to press charges. So that's the entire thing.
That's why he kept getting away with everything.
Yes.
There was no consequences
Yeah.
to his actions. So that what does that have? It's like that don't with cats thing that you graduate. If you keep getting away with it, you're going to graduate to something bigger.
Right.
Yeah.
Every time. Well, hot darn.
Just keep pushing
Well,
your
hot
limits.
darn.
Well, hot darn.
So it's 3 hours and 22 minutes of your time.
Yeah.
I can totally watch all of that.
I
tonight.
knocked out in one sitting.
I'm gonna watch it while I
Yeah,
paint
it's
my
not
nails.
3 hours isn't nothing. I got this.
I got this.
I mean, and that's the thing is like I found myself like getting up to go use the restroom, going, "Holy crap, this
Right?
is crazy! I got to get back here."
I gotta pause this.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's nothing. You guys did 7 hours of You season 2.
Oh, I did that in like 2 days. But the Aaron Hernandez 2020 did something on him. 48 Hours did something on him. I watched all that, and then I researched him after the whole thing blew up. When it all happened. So I felt like it's nothing. But obviously, I need to see this.
Yeah.
This sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's good.
I love just like psychology behind all of that stuff. It's
Well, I think
so
it's-
fascinating.
There's
to
no
me.
cookie cutter explanation for anybody. I
Right.
think
Yeah,
everybody
that's-
is different. But if you look it up, and this is true because I have the Encyclopedia of Serial Killers, the one common thread between all of them is they were abandoned by somebody. There's some sort
Yes.
of abandonment in their life somewhere.
Yes.
That's what's scary because that's not uncommon.
Did you watch Mindhunter?
I started it.
Oh.
I think I watched 2 episodes of it.
It's so good.
Is it? Not
If you're into that kind of stuff,
Oh, I'm totally into that
Yeah.
stuff. I just told you I read the Encyclopedia of Serial
Yeah.
Killers.
I need to do that. That'd be so fascinating to me. I don't like romanticize them like some people do.
No,
I
no.
just am so fascinated
I don't wanna hang out
by
with
the
them. I just-
psychology and everything
Yeah,
behind it.
dissect their brains and see why.
Yeah.
When we all have a little bit of that in us too, like, oh, well, that like Joe.
Yeah.
From here, you're like, all right, well, I can see why he did that. I wouldn't.
Some of it is rational.
A little bit. Well, he rationalizes it well.
I was like, get rid of Candace. My God.
She was so annoying. It's like, kill her already.
All right. Before we make our turn and talk about the Baseball Hall of Fame, I just want to tell you, I am not 2 episodes. I'm only 2 episodes in, but Netflix The Circle. Yep, I'm all in. It's
Circle?
The Circle.
Now I gotta watch
It's on
it.
Netflix.
I
It's a
actually think I
game
started
show.
it.
It is Big Brother Jace. Does that chair keep sinking again? It is Big
Yeah.
Brother Jace. I'm all in for this show. I watched 2 episodes last night. I can't wait to just get right through it. So I'm trying to
I've
stay.
seen that. So is it good?
It's the dumbest game show ever.
well
It's
then-
like 8 people that are put in like private apartments, and everything is like it's about being social media influencers, and some people are lying, some are catfishing them. But the thing is you just can't help to see like their delight out of what people when they get likes from things.
Are you serious?
Yes,
So it's-
I can't explain it. There's
Okay,
gotta
now
be,
I gotta watch it.
There's
So it's
got to
like
be
it's a
something.
horror.
If we're talking about psychology, there's got to
Right.
be some type of thing that now in this day and age with social media that explodes in your brain when you see a like or you get a share.
It's
or whatever else.
validation.
Okay, so
Yeah.
and a lot of these people are like, there was a model. There's an Instagram guy, famous Instagram. There's a professional basketball player. I think he played overseas, and then they've got some other people. But I don't know where they find these people from. But they have to. It's incredible. Everything
It's
is
scary.
It's all like hands-free stuff, but they're stuck in apartments. They can't see each other.
I
So-
would hate this.
And they have conversations.
That
and
gives me anxiety.
I mean, there are people that are really good. I mean, I'm not gonna. You're very good on Facebook at creating conversations.
Yes.
And having conversations. And they're doing that with people. Like, you can hear them. They're like, okay, I need to talk to them, and I'm trying to do and they're trying to like have a conversation, either alliance or they're lying to them, and they're like, okay, and they're like, I can't remember what it's called. That was called, sorry, like circle. Do mind blown emoji, LOL. Can't believe that happened. LMAFO, and the thing types it up because it's all voice activated. So you're just like, they have to think about what emojis to use, emojis to use.
Wow.
And then anger always gives me a hard time because I call them emojis. It's emojis, right?
Yeah, it's
But but they're saying it out loud. They're like, so you're like, they're really
emojis.
Emojis. Okay.
Emoji.
Yeah. So anyway,
or emoji.
No,
I
do
tell
not.
you, and everybody knows my love for Big Brother. This is Big Brother Jay, so it was right up my alley, and I'm happy to be part of it. But now to make a turn, yesterday, Baseball Hall of Fame announced its candidates that are going in, and Derek Jeter came one vote short of being the second ever unanimous pick for the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Aw.
Larry Walker made it as well. Jeter appeared on 396 of 397 ballots, and they were cast by Baseball Writers Association of America.
Jeez.
Falling just shy of the standard set last year by his longtime teammate Mariano Rivera. With 99.7% of the vote, Jeter moved past Ken Griffey Jr. for the second highest vote count. Larry Walker got 304 votes, 6 above the 75% needed and up from 54.6% last year. His 22% jump is the highest among the 7 players to get into the Hall of Fame in their final year of eligibility per ESPN. Now, nobody knows who the one vote is on Derek Jeter. Now, ladies, this is a strange thing, and it's weird to explain. The Baseball Writers Association of America, they treat this Hall of Fame like this elusive club.
Oh, of course.
All right, and their vote is a big deal to them, and they don't have to release their name to their vote. They don't have to. Plenty of places want you to own up for it because there's been people left off, and there was never unanimous, and it's always a big deal to be your first year on the ballot to get in. That was always a thing. It's like an exclusive club that your first year on the ballot to get in. Derek
So
Jeter
it's a
again.
closed vote. It's not an open vote.
You can choose to now give it, but so they do not know who the one person who did not vote for Derek Jeter to get in his first year.
We're gonna find out.
What a hater.
That's not true that we're going to find out.
You don't think we'll ever find out?
Somebody, hold on.
We're gonna find out.
Hold on. Somebody, Twitter is going to, if Twitter can break the Astros scandal, the banging scheme, Twitter's going to figure out.
Twitter is insane.
If they can make a Netflix series, Don't F with Cats,
Yeah.
over what people have done.
Hire those people to find out. They'll do it.
I mean,
that lady, what's her
I
name?
refuse to watch that.
Nah, they don't show anything.
Okay.
I
But
heard
that's
the
what that's
opposite.
about, right?
Yeah.
These people see and I haven't seen Don't F with Cats, but it's basically they see a video and someone's like, we need to find these bad people.
Yes.
And they start, the group starts, and they start like just by
They
photos.
track this
Yeah.
dude down, man,
All right.
and they tell authorities.
So if I was the one person, I would not feel safe for not doing it, for not voting for him. And I
like
think
the guy
this
that
is
caught the foul ball.
I think this is a matter of, because Mariano Rivera was the first to get in, unanimous. It's a matter of, we're not going to do it 2 years back to back, because then more people will expect it, because it took so long to get that. And unfortunately, somebody should. Now, I'm trying to figure out if he's a first ballot. I as much as I want to say he's not, he's a first ballot. He leads postseason and wins, most runs scored, total bases, hits in the postseason. He's the captain of the New York Yankees when they put it all together. I mean, what's the only knock on him? If Giambi would have slid, the A's would have won that game. Like, I can't give a knock on Jeter. Everyone knows I was a Nomar guy growing up over Jeter, but I just think the one guy that did it was just to keep Mariano Rivera, to stop, not have back-to-back.
Exclusivity, like
Yes.
keep it so that it's
again, it's kind of the Baseball Writers Association of America. It was always like this club to get in, and
Yeah.
we put you in it, and it's not going to be
That
every
easy.
time, and especially the first year was a big deal. And
That's silly.
because you have Larry Walker, 15-year career, 10 of them in Colorado. A lot of people are saying that should be a big deal, shouldn't it? Serge, is he the only one in the Hall of Fame that spent the majority of their career in Colorado? Like, shouldn't that be a big deal? I think he is, isn't he?
Probably, yeah. I mean,
but shouldn't that be a big deal that like people said like, oh, his numbers are inflated because of he was in Colorado, the high altitude? That's right now. If Metcalf was sitting here, he would say that he shouldn't be in because of that. I'm not lying to you. He would. Anyway, I think that's actually a bigger story if Larry Walker is somebody who's spent 5 years or more in Colorado. And they're a new franchise from like 1997.
So why should we penalize him for having good numbers?
That's what I'm saying.
That's
But that should be a when people are going to look at things and say like, well, his numbers are inflated because of high altitude. That should be a story too that Larry Walker got in. Then the ball travels further.
No,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, less
So
oxygen in the atmosphere.
you know what annoys me though?
What's that?
Is the word penalized when people say penalized?
Penalized?
Oh, it drives me nuts.
I'm gonna write that down, and it's forever now penalized.
Oh my goodness.
Like I said, I was going to start pronouncing
Don't
the word.
penalize me.
We're going to start pronouncing the word females like we do tamales.
Famales.
I love that.
I would rather be a famale. That is so much cooler.
I'm a hot famale.
It's so much cooler.
Other results from the ballot: Kurt Schilling was third with 278 votes, 70% in his 8th year on the ballot. He had an increase from 60.9%, but he's still 20 votes shy from making it to Hall of Fame. Roger Clemens went up from 59.5% to 61. Barry Bonds 59.1 to 60.7. So a very small uptick. With 2 more years each on the ballot, they will likely come down. It will come down to 2022. And when they'll be joined by Alex Rodriguez and David Ortiz. A-Rod will be eligible then. Omar Vizquel moved up from 42.8% to 52.6%. And Scott Rowland doubled up from 17.2 to 35.3. That's a pretty big jump for Scott Rowland. The jump for Larry Walker was... I can't speculate how these voters do it. I can only recklessly speculate and say like maybe they didn't just want one person to go in the Hall of Fame. That's because that's a big jump on your last year. Or maybe they thought he dated he paid his time. I don't know. All right, I think we've been talking about it enough. We got to talk a little bit about the Super Bowl and where we think this one. I think
just to kind of wrap that up. Israel's had a couple points on here.
Okay.
Everyone's so concerned about the one vote. Does it matter?
No, it doesn't to me. It doesn't to me.
Doesn't matter to me either.
I would rather hear the case why not. I'm okay.
Yeah.
It's your vote. You've got to vote.
Yeah.
If it's like, nope, I wanted to keep it 100% for Mariano Rivera, and it's an exclusive club, and that's the new one, then so be it. Okay, right. You're the guy. It doesn't need to be tarred and feathered. Jeez, how old am I?
Tarred and feathered? We're going back to the 20s here, pal. This is pre-depression.
Yeah. Serge, will you read an ad for me?
Attention, pizza lovers, we have exciting news for you. Van's Pizza is now available in Bettendorf. Van's Pizza and More has just opened near the TBK Plex at the corners of Middle and Forest Grove Roads. They have outstanding daily specials with that Van's Pizza you love, plus Van's famous wings, the oh-so-popular bread nuggets, salads, and baked subs. Van's Pizza and More is a carry-out call-in establishment that you can have your pizza hot and ready within 10 minutes, or you can have it delivered. Delivery area is limited, so call Van's on the go at 563-232-1396. That's Van's Pizza and More, 5023 Competition Drive in Bettendorf.
This is Rachel Alger with St. Ambrose University, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
ESPN 1170 AM.
This is UFC Hall of Famer Pat Miletich. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
ESPN 1170 AM.
Dennis DeYoung, lead singer of Styx, is bringing the Grand Illusion 40th Anniversary Album Tour to Rhythm City. The music begins at 8 p.m. on Saturday, February 29th. Witness hits like Lady, Come Sail Away, and Mr. Roboto. Tickets start at $27 and are available by visiting RhythmCityCasino.com, by phone at 844-852-4FUN, or in person at the Market Gift Shop. Dennis DeYoung, live in concert at Rhythm City Casino Resort.
From local to global, ESPN 1170 has you covered. Your Quad City sports show is here for you. Don't hassle us, we're local with your favorite foursome, T-Roy, J-Bird, Surge, and you. Weekdays noon to 2 on the Quad City sports leader. ESPN 1170 AM wants you to be an insider. Get access to great contests at ESPN1170am.com. Brought to you by Necker's Jewelers, where the Quad Cities get gets engaged from the Quad City sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
The Circle Tap in Davenport is your place to catch the big game on February 2nd. Watch the championship game on one of their 16 flat screen TVs or relax on the heated patio. Enjoy $2 domestic cans, $7 big ass Bloody Marys, and cash giveaways every quarter. Plus, one lucky winner will walk away with $100 at the end of the game. Soak up your booze with $6 pulled pork sandwiches and fries, or grab a rack of Circle Tap's world famous ribs. Enjoy great food, great drinks, and great friends during the big game at the Circle Tap, West Locust Street, Davenport.
Have your car battery tested for free at Old Dog Tire and Performance. Plus, get an oil change for only $24.95. Up to 5 quarts of semi-synthetic blend oil, oil filter, 27-point inspection, and they top off all fluids. Or get a fully synthetic blend oil change with up to 5 quarts of oil for only $49.95. Old Dog does brakes, AC work, struts and suspensions, tune-ups, and alignments. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5. Old Dog Tire and Performance, Rockingham Road, Davenport. Service local, limited time offer.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for your Precision Air team starting lineup. First, let's welcome the masters of comfort and efficiency, your residential and commercial heating and AC service team. Next up, put your hands together for the All-Star Furnace and AC installation team, the trained dealer comfort specialist. And finally, your Quad Cities geothermal specialist. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Precision Air starting lineup. Financing available online at PrecisionAirQC.com. Precision Air, we'll be right there.
At a time of personal loss, we each express our feeling in our own way. Wheeland Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory recognize that no one service is right for everyone. That's why we offer various options for the most appropriate service, the most fitting farewell, and personalized attention to detail. Wheeland Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, Rock Island, Milan, Reynolds, and the Knox Chapel.
From the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studios, this is the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KPOB, Davenport.
Welcome back to Don't Hassle Us. We're local here on ESPN 1170 AM. We're live here in the Hassle Castle, brought to you by Dunright TV and Security. I want to remind everybody about my friends down at Bayside Bistro in the village of East Davenport. Bayside Bistro is not your ordinary sandwich shop. You won't find deli meat on their menu. They use fresh ingredients, and orders are made from scratch. From paninis like the Bayside Po' Boy to the roasted red beet, green bean salad, Bayside Bistro has an incredible menu that specializes in deliciousness, including things like their entrees, like the pan-seared pecan-crusted trout, the gumbo, which is fantastic, coconut shrimp. Ooh. And for those people who, plant-based and gluten-free, there's a thing called spaghetti. It's their house-made gluten-free vegetable spaghetti served with garlic toast. And they also have a vegetarian Thanksgiving served with an assortment of roasted veggies, black beans, quinoa, and quinoa. I think I got the gambling on my mind. Quinoa and rice, and it comes with side. Anyway, stop by Bayside Bistro at 1105 Christie Street in the East Village. And don't just take our word for it and what we're talking about. Go to their Facebook page and read their over 500 recommendations from guests. That's and by the way, the hosting private events, you need catering, you get a hold of them. And earlier we talked about popcorn. They have gourmet popcorn down there as well at the Bayside Bistro.
Ooh.
Yeah. So they're talking about a lot of topics, but we haven't really got to the big game coming up. No, we've talked about sports. Don't scare any listeners off. Don't scare anybody that just turned the dial
Aaron
on.
Hernandez is sports.
Yes, of course. But like I said, don't scare people off. Say like, maybe we need to talk about sports. But coming up, obviously, is San Francisco 49ers versus Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad they beat the freaking Packers.
they didn't beat the... Oh, you beat the Pack. Okay.
Yes.
You're happy the 49ers beat the Packers.
Yes.
All right.
You know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Why? You don't like cheese?
I do, but I don't like the Packers.
Why not?
I just don't. I don't like their fans.
What?
A lot of their fans. Majority. They're just annoying.
Oh,
it's
man.
like Ohio State fans. And I can say that because I'm from there.
Yeah, I lived in Wisconsin, so I was surrounded by a sea of Packers fans for a long time.
So Super Bowl 54.
You learn.
I believe, is going to be a very good matchup, and I don't think I'm,
I think it'll be good.
Taking any hot takes there. The NFC number 1 seed San Francisco is taking on the AFC 2 seed Kansas City. Both teams are a combined 29-7. This game takes place at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, home of the Miami Dolphins. 49ers are riding a 4-game winning streak. Their last loss came in Week 15 against Atlanta. That was a 29-22 loss, and they were 10-point favorites in that game. Bomber, you remember that game?
Of course I remember that game.
San Francisco covered in both their playoff games, beating Minnesota 27-10 in the divisional round as 7-point favorites, and then taking down the Packers 37-20 NFC title game as 8-point favorites. Overall, the 49ers are 11-6-1 against the spread. San Francisco averages 30.17 points per game on offense and gives up 18.89 points per game on defense. 49ers have won 5 Super Bowls in franchise history and are playing in their first Super Bowl since 2013 when they lost to the Ravens 34-31. On the other side, the Chiefs have won 8 straight games. Their last loss came in Week 10 against Tennessee 35-32. Kansas City covered in both their playoff games as well, beating Houston 51-31 as 10-point favorites in the divisional round, and then taking down Tennessee 35-24 as 7-point favorites in the AFC title game. Kansas City has been a huge moneymaker for bettors this year, going 13-5 against the spread. The Chiefs averaged 29.83 points per game on offense and allowed 20.17 points per game on defense. Kansas City is making its first Super Bowl appearance since 1969 when they beat the Vikings 23-7.
Dang.
This game across the board, because it was open as a true pick'em. With the game on a neutral site, they're telling you that they're dead even, and it's a coin flip, but roughly 2/3 of the early bets are taking the Chiefs, which puts the line up in some places either -1 or -1.5, depending on the book. As soon as the line opened, William Hill, our friends down at William Hill overall, not just downtown Bettendorf. As soon as this opened, William Hill took a $33,000 bet on the Chiefs as a pick'em. So, the total opened up at 51.5 and has risen to 53.5. Bomber, you are a Kansas City Chiefs fan.
Of course I am.
And they didn't start off to a very big, good start again.
No, and they never do. This is kind of, I always joke, I'm like, this is what they're going to do. They're going to let them feel like they have the upper hand, and they're going to come in and they're going to body slam the other team.
Body slam, huh?
Who are you for?
Slam.
The 49ers or the I called it 2 weeks ago. I said the 49ers and the Chiefs are going to go to the Super Bowl.
I honestly, I don't want to say knew because I don't know much about sports.
You can say you know.
But I was like, I knew the 49ers were going to make it to the Super Bowl. The teams that they were going to play throughout, the playoffs, whatever. I was like, they're going to make it to the Super Bowl. I don't know about the other one because I don't know.
The other one, do you mean the Chiefs?
The Chiefs. And they're a really good team, obviously.
No.
I mean, look at their
no.
stats. I think it's going to be a really, really good game. I think it is glad the Patriots are.
Who do you have?
I'm just going to say the Niners because,
all right, we are no longer talking.
Yeah, but you know what? One of us is going to be a winner at the end of the day.
No, and that winner is going to be me.
We'll have to see.
Chiefs. Go KC. Go KC. Yes. You had to see, did you watch the game, the Chiefs game?
No.
Did you see Mahomes? Did you see this little nugget of pure joy run these plays himself when he couldn't find an opening? Did you see?
No.
We have to give her the replays.
See, the thing is, I have Dish Network, and
there's your problem.
They keep getting the games keep being on Fox, and they're having this whole issue with
satellite
Dish, and it's very irritating. And God forbid I go to a bar to watch it.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
I don't, because you know what? I want to watch it in the comfort of my own home because
you don't have to pay for an Uber to get back.
And I don't really have girlfriends who are like super into sports.
You don't need girlfriends. I have kids. That's who I hang out with. I mean,
yeah, I don't have those either. My boyfriend lives in Ohio, so
this damn chair, I swear, this darn chair.
I always have that
chair.
So.
Will get you.
Troy, what'd you do? I think you rigged it before you left.
Yeah, just to have fun. Well,
who do you have, Jay?
He's like,
I can't even remember what I said yesterday. I said I was going to flip-flop over this over and over again.
Yeah,
I do believe I predicted the score to be 35-34, and I believe it's Kansas City Chiefs.
I think it's
by
gonna be
one
close.
point. I think it's going to be close as well. I don't think it's going to be that close.
I'm polling for.
I think it might be 3 points.
I'm polling for an overtime.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be spectacular?
Yeah, we haven't had an over. The last overtime was 2016 game, 2016 season. Patriots over the Falcons.
I remember that.
The thing is if we have overtime, Buffalo Wild Wings is bringing back the special.
What's that?
That if the game goes in overtime, customers will receive a free order of wings.
Ooh.
So go
And
watch
boneless or traditional.
You know what else is going to be in
They
the
will
Super
be
Bowl?
snack sized, so it's a 5 or 6 count depending on location.
And it's only the 49er fans that eat boneless wings. Chief fans only eat
This is
bone-in
correct.
wings.
Wow.
I don't like bone-in
Shots
wings.
fired.
You are correct. I hate
if this happens, customers can redeem their free wings on February 17th between 4 and 7. No, they do. They are not a sponsor of the show. I just thought it interesting that they decided that they were going to put out this big ad and say that, hey, if it goes to overtime, they're going to give away free wings in the United States or Canada. No, I guess it could happen. Yeah, if it's 28-28 and the other team goes for 2, 35-34. I'm excited for this game.
I am too. I'm stoked. By the way, I want to say real quick, did you see that meme that the guys that eat boneless wings shut the refrigerator door with their hips?
No.
That's hilarious. I do
Something
that.
to think about, man. Well, you're a famale.
I'm a famale.
So you don't have to worry about it.
But you know what else you'll see in the Super Bowl?
Mahomes winning.
Bud Light Seltzer.
Oh, yeah. They have an ad, right?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Rock on.
There's plenty of Anheuser-Busch ads throughout the Super Bowl, but especially Bud Light Seltzer. So keep your eye out. Keep your eyes peeled.
I know tomorrow the prop bets, and there are a lot of them, are supposed to be out there. And for those of you who are new to the gambling world, the prop bets are things like you can bet on the coin flip, how long the national anthem's going to go.
Oh, good
Demi Lovato is singing.
Oh, she's singing. It's going to go a little longer.
Yeah, there's so many out there that's just crazy.
Wait, who has the halftime show?
It's J-Lo and...
And A-Rod?
No, just J-Lo, and I can't remember who else. And you can gamble on whether or not there'll be a wardrobe malfunction.
Have you seen her though? Man, at 50,
she is incredible.
Stop. You know, it's not that you're
She
you're
can
ugly,
move her
you're just
body
poor.
better than I can, and I'm 24.
It's money, girl, money. You know, I
Money.
see. Look at Kylie Jenner.
Must be nice.
I'm like, God.
Oh
You know, they
my
show those memes and they're
God.
like, you're not ugly, you're just poor. Facts.
Yes, I feel that. I can't afford Juvederm every 2
Nip
months.
and tuck, a little Botox here and there. I wouldn't be mad about it.
Yeah, you know, if I had the money, I probably would.
Heck yeah, I'd get it. I would.
What makes you happy?
Jay's like, me
I'm
too.
losing. Yeah, I'm losing.
Little
it
nip,
here,
little
yeah.
tongue.
For the first time ever, Jay is surrounded by estrogen.
Yeah, I lost complete control
He's
of the
so
studio
uncomfortable,
today.
you guys. He's turning red. There's steam coming out of his
know
ears.
what's going on. I don't understand like what you're talking about. The whole like the things that you're talking about. I don't understand.
Good. You
Botox.
shouldn't. You shouldn't. That means you don't close the refrigerator door with your hips.
Okay, no, I don't do that.
There's nothing wrong with that, and boneless wings are great.
No, they're
Yes.
not wings. They're chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets are wonderful with sauce.
Okay.
I don't know where you found her at, Jay, but
What do you mean?
He got stuck with me. What do you mean?
Well, yeah, no, not at all. I love having correlated. And before
me
Coral,
too.
before you go, where you headed at? Where you headed?
I have to go to Dubuque.
I
have to go sample some Trio, our fruit and birch water.
Oh.
It's in the health section.
Oh, never
at
mind.
Grocery stores. It's delicious.
It's
Kids love it.
Oh, really? Kids? I
Yeah.
never thought. Well, I'll give it
They
to them, but I don't
love
want
it.
All right,
There's
so
no
They'll
sugar.
be my guinea pigs.
So you're going up to Dubuque to do that?
Yep.
All right, and then so remind everybody what we're having here. It's the Bud
Light Seltzer.
Seltzer. It's
4 flavors, 100
I haven't
calories.
tasted it yet. I'm gonna taste
alcohol
it.
Crack
volume.
it open, girl.
One,
Get it.
100 calories.
2 grams of carbs, less than 1 gram of sugar, 5% alcohol, 4 flavors. Gluten-free, all natural flavor. Watch for it at the Super Bowl. I think they're incorporating the seltzer, Pennsylvania Mayor.
You know, that does not taste like TV static. That's not bad.
TV static.
I
You
said
know
it
what?
doesn't taste like TV static.
I've never heard someone...
Carbonated water tastes like TV static.
It makes sense.
You think about it.
I just imagined it. That's such a good...
Analogy, right?
Yeah.
See, I'm here. You're welcome. I'm here till Thursday. Friday.
Say that again. Say that again.
Carbonated water
Yeah.
tastes like TV static. That there's
Okay.
no, it's just flavorless and it's empty, but there's that little tingle on your tongue. TV static. That's what it would be comparable to.
So That's more like soda water.
This is, but there's a little
She said it
fresh
does
flavor.
not
It does
taste
not.
like
It's better. Now I've had LaCroix. Ugh.
I like LaCroix.
Of course you do. You shut the refrigerator door with your hips.
Mean? Why do you keep going back to shut the refrigerator door with my hip?
LaCroix is disgusting.
I don't even have my refrigerator doesn't even work that way. By the way,
Do you have a fancy one that opens itself? The Jetsons come in and go.
No. And the top shelves they open up like that, and the freezer's underneath, and I kick the freezer door.
So you are a man's man.
I mean, it's not like I beat it, like I hate you, or I just like. Pfft.
I'm just like, ooh, I got my snack.
It's just a joke.
Do that.
Anything that's a little bit more famale.
Famale
means that you shut the door with your hips. That's what I do. You got a laundry basket in your hands or a baby or something or doing something, you shut it with your hips. You just gotta get a little.
Yeah.
Right. That's feminine.
That has nothing to do with what chicken wings you like, though.
Yes, it does because only real men eat bone in. If I was ever out with somebody, a guy, friends, whoever, and if okay, let's say you were out on a date with somebody and we were together, and he ordered boneless chicken wings, I would whisper, "Run."
If he ordered boneless chicken wings, I'd be like, "Give me it."
No, that's right.
I'd be like,
because
"I love you."
You're a famale.
Yeah.
You can do that. Men should not eat boneless chicken wings unless they're under 7.
I don't care what they eat.
You're allowed to if your daughters leftovers.
No.
What, I'm just supposed to throw away leftovers?
Absolutely.
Nah,
it's like
yeah.
McDonald's fries, unless you got an air fryer.
I will tell you this right now: if you want to see how to eat chicken wings, Goose from 97X did a video at Hooters or whatever, and it blew my mind how to eat them. And
I can do it. My daughter can do it. Lyric can do it. She can literally suck the top off and just and there's nothing left of the bone. She's the one who taught me how to do it.
There's a way to break it and take the small one out, and then you can do that. Yeah,
that's
what
exactly
I'm talking about.
it. Yeah.
And that's the way I eat it now.
Yeah.
I'm
See, but that's a
I'm
man's way to
hungry.
eat a wing. That's how you do it. And isn't it funny that my 7-year-old daughter at the time taught me how to do
I
it?
think it's great. Poor Coral.
I'm like borderline
Boneless chicken
vegetarian
wings are
vegan.
not chicken wings.
Nah, I don't like them.
Boneless chicken wings are chicken nuggets.
Coral, before
Yeah.
you go, and I will have you back next week, but are you
Yes.
Super Bowl, are you usually out and about, or do you watch at home, or do you...
I will be at a casino
Oh,
for
you
a
already-
couple hours.
you already booked.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we should all watch it together and
Not
live stream
booked,
it.
Oh, my
but
goodness, that'd be
I don't think it's during the game. I
We
don't
really
know.
should
I gotta
put a-
look at.
we
I think
really
it's like
should
4 to
FaceTime
6 or something like that.
a viewing. That would
We
be a lot of
should.
fun.
We should plan that.
Wouldn't be safe for children, but yeah, it'd be
I
fun.
might go out.
It's 5 hours.
But are you going to be in town?
Yes, I will be in Davenport.
So why don't we all meet up and the second half of the game and
It's first half, probably. Well, it's at least the
It'll probably have to
I
be
want
the
the
first half.
results because I want to.
I'll order my boneless chicken
wings.
wings, aka chicken fingers with sauce, because that's what I love, and I'm gonna go.
Are we
get
in
some
for
chicken
Tuesday
fingers.
or Wednesday next week?
Tuesday.
All right. Bomber will be here on Tuesday also.
All right.
Awesome.
If not more.
I might have a guest with me.
That's fine. Hey, do
The
whatever.
more the merrier. Is it Mahomes?
And we'll talk more.
No.
Talk more Bachelor and all kinds
Dang
of fun
it.
things, and talk. We'll talk prop bets and,
Yes,
and Super
I will
Bowl
actually
and
watch Bachelor now.
commercials and all that other stuff. So
Yes.
you have a safe trip, okay?
You have a wonderful day.
Well, thank you.
It was so fun hanging out with you.
I know, right?
Thanks for adding me on Facebook. We're new besties. We're
All right,
gonna
let's
have to
take
have
our second break. Let's take our second break. We come back. Me and Bomber will wrap this show up.
All right.
We'll get after it. It's getting to be that time of year again. And time to start thinking about the new year and hitting the gym. The Bettendorf Life Fitness Center has everything you need for a new you and a new year. No matter what your age, you've most likely heard many times that exercise is good for you, and it's the truth. Being fit enhances your physical appearance, and more importantly, it makes you feel great. Getting the right amount of exercise increases energy levels and can even help improve your mood. Enjoy activities like tennis, running up and down the basketball court, doing sprints on the track, or swimming in the pool. No matter what your workout routine involves, The Fit has a gym complete with everything you'll need to feel great, get strong, and live long. Check out what the Bettendorf Life Fitness Center has to offer at their webpage, lifefitnesscenter.org, or go and follow their Facebook and Instagram pages at BetLFC. That's the @bet sign, bet, BETT LFC. Stop in the Fit today and take a tour at 2222 Middle Road in Bettendorf. We'll be right back. Don't hassle us for local. ESPN 1170.
So you're what they call an industrial athlete, but this ain't no gym. You're working hard, but you got the right tools to get the job done? Would you play football and roller skates? I don't think so. So if your gear is beat up, tore up, all around mucked up, come on in and boot up. at Quad City Safety, 5311 Tremont Avenue, Davenport. Or check us out at quadcitysafety.com.
From local to global, ESPN 1170 has you covered. Your Quad City Sports Show is here for you. Don't hassle us. We're local with your favorite foursome, T-Roy, Jay-Bird, Surge, and you. Weekdays noon to 2 on the Quad City Sports Leader. ESPN 1170 AM wants you to be an insider. Get access to great contests at ESPN1170am.com. Brought to you by Necker's Jewelers, where the Quad Cities gets engaged. From the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
The Circle Tap in Davenport is your place to catch the big game on February 2nd. Watch the championship game on one of their 16 flat-screen TVs or relax on the heated patio. Enjoy $2 domestic cans, $7 big-ass Bloody Marys, and cash giveaways every quarter. Plus, one lucky winner will walk away with $100 at the end of the game. Soak up your booze with $6 pulled pork sandwiches and fries, or grab a rack of Circle Tap's world-famous ribs. Enjoy great food, great drinks, and great friends during the big game at the Circle Tap, West Locust Street, Davenport.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for your Precision Air team starting lineup. First, let's welcome the masters of comfort and efficiency, your residential and commercial heating and AC service team. Next up, put your hands together for the All-Star Furnace and AC installation team, the trained dealer comfort specialist. And finally, your Quad Cities geothermal specialist. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Precision Air starting lineup. Financing available online at PrecisionAirQC.com. Precision Air. We'll be right there.
Back by popular demand, Gobo Productions presents One Night of Queen. Since forming in 2002, Gary Mullen and the Works have performed to sellout audiences all over the world. And now they're back in the USA for a brand new tour. One Night of Queen is a spectacular live concert recreating the look, sound, and showmanship of arguably the greatest rock band of all time. You'll hear classic Queen numbers including We Will Rock You, Fat Bottom Girls, Another One Bites the Dust, Bohemian Rhapsody, and We Are the Champions. One Night of Queen, performed by Gary Mullen and the Works. This show will rock you.
Coming to the TaxSlayer Center March 18th. Tickets are on sale now at the TaxSlayer Center box office and Ticketmaster.com. Presented by Town Square Media.
Dennis DeYoung, lead singer of Styx, is bringing the Grand Illusion 40th Anniversary Album Tour to Rhythm City. The music begins at 8 p.m. on Saturday, February 29th. Witness hits like Lady, Come Sail Away, and Mr. Roboto. Tickets start at $27 and are available by visiting RhythmCityCasino.com, by phone at 844-852-4FUN, or in person at the Market Gift Shop. Dennis DeYoung, live in concert at Rhythm City Casino Resort.
Download the ESPN 1170 app today and listen to the Quad Cities' only local sports show from noon to 2. From anywhere in the world, we are the Quad Cities Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Welcome back to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local here on ESPN 1170 AM. The Hassle Castle is now down to 2. It's me and Bomber.
Hey.
Talking sports, football, all that kind of stuff. Bomber, is there any way, I mean, are you just, it's a close game. It's a money line, it's a pick 'em, it's a 1.5. Are you just going with your, because you do your research when if you're going to place a wager at one of our sports books here in Iowa, you do your research.
Yes, of course.
And you figure out, and then you make your bet. So are you going with your heart, or are you going to give it your full-on research here?
I have to go with my logic over my heart. Of course, I'm going to go. I truly do believe that the Chiefs are going to win.
Okay.
As far as the spread, I'm not sure yet, so I can't decide if I'm going to do money line or not. Money line obviously pays less.
Mm-hmm.
I do have some house money to play with, so we will see.
But with the spread being so small,
right, it's going to be so hard
you can change the money line, and it's going to, you get it at a minus 110 than you would by getting at minus probably at about a 165 right now for money line.
Right.
It depends what you want to do it, and you would always kick yourself if it ended up being a 35-34 game.
It happens often.
And you're not to give away anything, but you've said it on the air. Your way of doing things, if you were going to place a wager, when you've said like, if I were going to do it, it would be more money line than the spread anyway.
Yes.
So if you were to do that, continue. By what you've said, if you were to place a bet.
Money line's a sure thing. I mean, it's win or lose. It's yes or no.
Yeah.
You know, as my son would say, Y or N. That's how he video game reference to everything. Okay. So it's yes or no. So it's easier, but you get more on the other one.
You do, but that's how they get you. That's,
of course.
And that's how Vegas is.
That's where the research comes
into play. And that's why they make things like parlays. And then when the parlays keep going, then they make things like teasers. And it's all these other things. And there's so
that's how they get you.
That's how they get you. I've been thinking about the game, and I think the anticipation in general is that it's not a Patriots involvement, to be honest with you. And I think maybe that's why maybe the national championship, despite the 16 days off, was a little bit higher, but with Clemson there, no Alabama. And I think that's people expect to see. I don't know if they expect to see a high-scoring game. I do.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Although the 49ers have the number 2 defense overall, 2 out of their 3 losses came from mobile quarterbacks.
Okay.
They're very fast. Their defense is very fast. Don't get me wrong. And so is the Kansas City Chiefs offense.
And our loss is not going to come from our quarterback.
No.
Not a chance.
I just think that Mahomes has proved himself, and let's get to that conversation in a second. The one that we over social media. Mahomes has proven himself as a regular season MVP. His numbers are incredible through the postseason so far. Obviously, he's got 1 loss in his career, but the numbers are there, and he's broken records. He'd be the 5th youngest quarterback. He is going to be the 5th youngest quarterback to start in the Super Bowl.
Right.
But going back to what you said last week, and I said, let's pump the brakes. And then you said, you remember when I called Patrick Mahomes the best quarterback?
I said he's the best in the league right now, and you said, no, he's not. I go, well, if you don't think he is now, you will. He will be.
He will be in the conversation.
Yes.
I will give you this.
Okay, I'm ready.
If you were to start a franchise out of all the players in the NFL, I think he's just proven that he would be the one to go to.
Absolutely.
He'd be the number 1 overall pick.
Absolutely.
I think it's a recency bias, and we put Lamar Jackson into changing everything, and he has. I mean, to rush for those yards and passing and whatnot, we haven't seen those type of numbers out of a quarterback, combined numbers since Michael Vick. But Patrick Mahomes now has done this over 2 seasons. He got hurt, and then the door was open for Lamar Jackson to come in and steal the spotlight
for a minute.
And yes, and he did, but he did it on primetime games, and that's where all eyes are on him on a Monday or Thursday or Sunday night. Every time Lamar Jackson answered the call.
Right.
So I think we jumped into it too quick, and now Patrick Mahomes is showing it. And with the Super Bowl win, I think the argument's there. And I do believe that if you were starting a franchise,
the way he played in that playoff game was beyond impressive. The way when he didn't have an opening, he ran those plays himself, and he did phenomenal. He touched 2 touchdowns himself.
Yes.
You know, I mean, how many quarterbacks that are this wet behind the ears that can do? I compared him to Favre, and you guys kind of chuckled at me a little bit. And I said, no, with his accuracy and the fact that he plays with injuries as well, that's the only quarterback in the NFL that I can completely compare him to, in my opinion, right now. And he will. I think he'll supersede him, too. That's my opinion, though.
He'll supersede who?
Brett Favre.
As what?
Quarterback. Just the way he plays, the heart that he has, how he goes out there. He was playing with a knee.
Okay. You mean the
accuracy that he has, the how he plays with injuries.
His accuracy is better than Brett Favre's.
It is, but Brett Favre played. He had heart. But he was out. You know what I mean? He played with injuries. He had broken fingers. He had a. What do you have a?
Do you see what you're saying? No,
he's got that heart of the
comparisons.
Game.
There, the gunslinger. He's just going to go out there and
he's the cowboy.
It's the. Look at him out there. He's just having fun. It's like he's like in the backyard.
He plays for love of the game. He's not playing for a paycheck. He's playing because he loves the game.
If I start a franchise and I take Patrick Mahomes, I take Patrick Mahomes, but not his girlfriend.
You know,
She's a bit too much for me.
If she's a bit too much, I'm a bit too much because I would be out there
I guarantee you,
crazy.
you would be all over that social media.
Oh my God, I'd be on the camera.
That's exactly the way she is too.
That would be
Told
me.
you so.
Yes.
I told you.
She is a queen. Love you.
Yeah.
She's doing good. If that's your man, yes. Are you kidding me? Oh, forget about it. They'd have to kick me off the field.
Yeah. So the storylines that are going to be out there, Andy Reid, because there's always an Andy Reid in the playoffs type of thing.
Sure.
There's also Andy Reid off a bye, which
He's got the highest record of wins off a bye.
Yes.
Of any other
But
coach in the NFL.
Does the Super Bowl bye count as a?
Why wouldn't it? It's a bye.
Okay.
Why would it not count?
I guess playoff bye. We'd have to go back to his tenure in the playoffs. Whenever they didn't have to play in the wild card round, how he did after that, because that has to play a factor because it's always Andy Reid in the playoffs
yeah,
is the
sure.
storyline. Kansas City not winning in 50 years. Oddly enough, I think I told you I just have a problem with Kansas City in general.
Why?
It's like most things. It's really dumb.
I want to hear it, and I think everybody else does too.
When I was at college at the University of Northern Iowa in Cedar Falls.
Okay, here we go.
It was like one of those things where I was like, I probably knew I was going to come back to the Quad Cities. I was like, yeah, I'll be a teacher. I'll probably go back to Quad Cities, Like, yeah, I'll probably teach Bettendorf. Who knows? And and there's this group of people from like Des Moines that was like, you go back home to the Quad Cities.
They
like,
all went back home too, by the way.
No, and they're like, yeah, fine. I mean, I guess I'd go back to Des Moines. I don't know, but I'm going to Kansas City. And it was always Kansas. And I was like, oh, what the heck, man. So ever since then, I'm like, whatever.
So you were bullied by some Kansas Cityers? You were bullied?
Some possible in the future Kansas Cityans bullied by them then? Like,
Let's go get them.
It's okay.
Redemption.
I like Arrowhead Stadium.
Have
I like
you been?
Kaufman. I've never been to a game there, no, but I've been
You
to
have
Kaufman,
to.
but I like how they're right by each other.
Right.
So I do like the whole tailgating aspect of it. I like ribs.
Okay, it's way more than that.
I think
the fan base. I told you guys this last time, and you kind of were like, okay, it's what is it? It's the loudest fans in the nation.
You keep
They
putting things
do
up
the
as the best.
decibel. No, they got the loudest fans. They do the decibel competition at Kansas City at Arrowhead, and it's the loudest.
Okay.
It's their world record, I believe. Tell me if I'm wrong, anybody listening, but they do the loudest cheers of any NFL stadium.
We're going to look this up.
Look it up.
The loudest stadium.
They do the decibels. Yes, they are the loudest fans in the nation as far as NFL is concerned. Okay, if I'm wrong, if I'm right, you have to kiss my ring.
Seahawks have it. I see.
No, you're so full of it.
It's the
Somebody
loudest-
look this up for me, please.
SI.com. I'm looking at this right now, and this was published at. What do you mean? Somebody look it up. I'm right here. A year ago, January 20th, 2019, SI.com. They said, according to the Guinness Book of World Record. Okay, here's where you're vindicated. All right.
Oh yeah.
According to the Guinness Book of World Record, no sports fan in the world are louder than the Chiefs fans are at Arrowhead Stadium. Chiefs fans registered a record 142.2 decibels on September 29, 2014, when the teams hosted the Patriots in Week 4 Monday Night Showdown for the season. The volume is louder than a jet taking off in an aircraft.
Yes, sir.
It said that the Seahawks CenturyLink Field was previously recorded as the NFL's loudest stadium after the crowd noise reached 137.6 decibels during a 2013 Monday night game. So, where am I what am I clicking on that doesn't Seahawks Central?
I think I was just vindicated. I don't.
You
think
are. You are right.
I told you.
You are right. I read it as a Seahawks Central link, but I missed the previously recorded as.
Oh.
So they have the loudest decibels at Arrowhead Stadium.
They have the loudest fans in the nation. Yes, they do.
Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle.
You be a monkey's uncle, and you
Good
eat your
for you, Bobber.
boneless
Look at
chicken
this
wings.
coming in here and just dropping the knowledge like that. Yeah. So, what do you normally do for the Super Bowl?
I drink excessively.
Do you? But okay, outside of the Chiefs, do you look
Church.
forward to? Yeah. Wait, did I say that? Yeah. Wait, church.
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah. Do you normally? Because they haven't been there, the Chiefs, obviously, in 50 years.
Not in my lifetime.
Yeah.
no.
So, do you normally watch it?
You know what? There's been years where I've had Super Bowl parties in my house.
Okay.
We've done that a few times, or we'll go to friends' houses, or I'm not a big bar person. I don't really like to go to the bar. So what we'll probably do is rent somewhere. Maybe rent top floor somewhere and have everybody invited and come in and get a keg. Maybe, I don't know. This year's a big year. It's the first time in 50 years.
It is a big year, yeah.
So we might do that. Kids might have to go to Grandma and Grandpa's house.
How did you become a Chiefs fan?
Husband.
Oh,
He was
okay.
a huge
That's right.
fan. So, yeah. The obligatory, and then you remain a fan, because here's the thing. I didn't know anything about any NFL teams. And then when I got married, he was a Chiefs fan. So I learned more about this team in one season than I've ever known about anybody else. And then you just kind of stick with them. And then you get that loyalty, that obligatory loyalty at first that transforms into real loyalty. So here I am, how many years later?
Were you nervous on Sunday at the game?
Not at all.
Good for you.
Not at all. As soon as I think I even posted a picture of my son eating a cookie with a Chiefs helmet on, and I said, not a great start, but check out this cutie and this cookie and this Chiefs. It never phases me, because this is what they do every game.
I'm going to mention this in talking to my friend Roy at the fitness center today, at the gym when I was working out. We were discussing the lines and gambling, and he mentioned the start that Kansas City has. And he said he's interested in the first half bet, taking the 49ers. I said, you know what, Roy? That is 100%. I will look at the first half, and I will call that our lock, the Roy special.
Yeah.
I do like that line a lot, because it'll be a pick 'em.
I agree. I think the 49ers are going to have us in the first half.
Yes, and I think it should be a pick 'em in the first half. I haven't even looked at the line yet, but the way that they've played,
Just the way
obviously.
they're.
And if you look
they're
at Shanahan and let's do the history, okay?
Yeah.
Kansas City playing from behind, and then Shanahan up 28-3 on the Patriots as offensive coordinator when he was for the Atlanta Falcons.
Right.
It plays right into the first half.
Yep.
So, which probably means Kansas City comes out and rolls them, but
They're going to roll them in. I want to say the end of the third. End of the third is when they're going to do their comebacks, and they're going to do their typical Kansas City shenanigans, and they're going to dominate.
I would love nothing more than one of the best Super Bowls of all time. USA Today has they ranked the Super Bowls all the way from the best to the worst. The worst being the Seattle blowout of the Broncos in 2014. I don't want to see. I want to see both teams bring it. I would assume Shanahan has learned from his mistakes as the OC of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And Andy Reid is being prepared. Andy Reid off a bye.
He deserves this. And guy,
a coach deserves it. It's not like they're just going to lay down.
At least it's not the Patriots. So the fact that the Patriots are not in the Super Bowl this year is like, of course, I want my team to win, but I'm just happy that the Patriots are not going to take home another Super Bowl win.
The top 10 Super Bowls, according to USA Today, is Super Bowl 51, and that was the Patriots over the Falcons, the one I just alluded to. That went to overtime. Brady throws for, at the time, a record of 466 yards, leading his team to 31 unanswered points. The number 2 was Super Bowl 42, the Giants, upsetting the Patriots, and that's giving them the upsetting. It was going to be a perfect season, and that was like the largest spread, at least the largest spread in this century in a Super Bowl. I know that. Number 3 is the Patriots over the Seahawks, the interception at the goal line.
Yep.
And
I remember that.
Yep. Number 4, and actually to this day, it's the anniversary this day, in the 1989 Super Bowl 23, San Francisco 49ers versus the Bengals. That's Joe Montana led an 11-play, 92-yard drive that finished with a game-winning TD pass to John Taylor with 34 seconds ago. So today is the anniversary of that, 20 years ago today. 30 years ago today, not 20.
Oh, wow.
Is that right? Am I doing that right?
30,
No, that's not right.
20.
30, no, that would have been 20 last year. It doesn't matter. It would have been 30 last year. See, I'm getting too old for this.
Yeah, right?
Number 5, Super Bowl 43. Steelers beat the Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals had a little bit of everything. 100-yard interception return at the end of the first half, and a fourth quarter comeback, and a laser shot TD pass for a win. That was to Hines Ward. And then 6, we got to mention the St. Louis Rams over the Tennessee Titans. It's the greatest show on turf that year. MVP Kurt Warner, Iowa boy, at that point was also a record 414 passing yards for the year, but that was only their third. That was the third fewest points they scored all year, 23 points when they beat the Titans, and Titans came up just a yard and a half short of tying that game.
Yes.
We got to thank Coral for coming in from 7G, and thank you for bringing in Bud Light Seltzer. Thank you guys all for tuning in today. Bomber's going to be here all week.
Yes, I am. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
Thanks
I like
for going
the
on vacation, T-Roy.
Yeah, I like the consistency, and of course, love having you in here.
Thank you. Love being
the
here.
conversation's a lot of fun. So yeah, tomorrow we'll have guests on. I can't remember exactly. We're gonna have Gwen in from the Quad City Storm. We're gonna have a phone call from Chuck Long tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
We're gonna talk to him. Do you know who Chuck Long is?
I know the name.
Yeah, we'll talk to him. He's going to be on the road. He's going to call in. We're going to talk to him briefly. So Gwen from Quad City Storm is going to be there, and talk
Awesome.
to Chuck Long. We'll have other people in as well. And Friday we have a slew of guests. So Rosso should join us tomorrow as well. It's going to be a good show. Thank you very much for tuning in, Quad Cities. We appreciate your time. And,
Thank you.
Yeah. Enjoy yourselves out there. And I think it's supposed to snow a little bit.
It is supposed to snow.
A little
I think
dusting, maybe an inch.
2 to 3. I heard. So
what did you do this weekend?
Nothing. Stayed indoors, hunkered down.
Yeah.
I ate a lot of stuff.
All right. I'm just trying to figure out because I put all the salt down on my driveway.
Yeah.
Worried about everything, and I don't know if I can get that ice before the snow comes. That's why I
It's
gotta go.
still the ice is still there, but it's finally melting today. But it was flying off my car on the way here. I'm like, I hope to, baby Jesus, that does not hit somebody in their windshield, and I'm gonna get a lawsuit.
All
It's
right.
scary. Scrape your cars off, guys.
Yes. Take care. Enjoy yourselves, Quad Cities. We will see you later. Go Hawks tonight. Beat Rutgers.
Go Hawks.